Thanks for listening to the Von Haessler Doctrine podcast. Remember, you can hear the show every weekday from 9 to noon right here on 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk. Live from Sherwood Forest in the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, Hour 1 of the Von Haessler Doctrine begins right now. I am your lovable, huggable, mid-morning chat host, Eric Von Haessler, surrounded by the Doctrinaires, man of 1,000 voices, Tim Andrews, lady of quite a few voices in her own right, Autumn Fisher, and the handsomest producer in all of producery, Jared Yamamoto.
And Eric, it's the dawn of a new America.
Yeah, that's what I heard. This, I was a little bit busy. I heard there was some news broke last night. I don't know. So they say, I was looking as I came in. Every day before I come on the air, I check the Von Haessler Doctrine mission statement to make sure that we're on message and on mission. And deep inside, I think the third paragraph of our mission statement says that we are a current event show. And that means that we have to reflect the current events. Current events, by the way, are events that have taken place recently in the public eye. So we have to cover this. You say there was a big story.
Yeah.
That, they impeached the president. The coverage of the impeachment is what I'm interested in. So I want to do a comparison. Because I could speak in, words and blah, blah, blah about the coverage that I saw and what I thought of it. I think in two pieces of music, I can sum up how the impeachment is being covered. First, Fox News. I say, first, Fox News. Shut up, Siri. The president was impeached today. A very bad and sad day for the United States of America. And now, CNN. The president. We got him! Woo-hoo! We got him!
Oh, I want some champagne. More champagne.
We're not exactly sure what we got him for, but we got him! And then back to Fox News. Hard to believe that 63 million voters could be spat right into the face by the opposition party. A very sad day in America. CNN. Hey, Chris Cuomo, what do you got going over there in the party room?
IPAs for everybody.
Wolf Blitzer says IPAs for everybody.
That's right, Wolf. It's Wolf. Oh.
Wolfman Blitzer.
Wolf, get off the pot bus.
So that's basically how it is. I mean, this is where we are. And I want to say, should I start the headlines?
Yeah, let's open it up.
My thing is, I don't know if this is our top story, because my understanding is there is a new Wallet Hub survey that says very good things about the city of Atlanta.
It's unbelievable.
And I look into our charter, our mission statement, and not only does it say current events, but it says that we are a local radio show. So what do I do on a morning like this when we have big national events? Those are current events, but also a new Wallet Hub survey that says something interesting about Atlanta. We'll just have to work it out. Let's do this.
Headlines for Thursday, December 19th.
All right, let's start with the Wallet Hub survey.
All right, Atlanta has been dubbed the best place in the nation to celebrate Christmas. Why?
Why?
Because of our generosity to everybody.
Where'd you get this from?
Wallet Hub.
Well, I know. What? You didn't go to the Wallet Hub newspaper. Where did the story come from?
It's on Curbed Atlanta, which
Well,
Curbed Atlanta.
we're giving them an awful lot of. We get a lot of our news from Curbed Atlanta,
And we've got a lot of
just a
Facebook
blog.
messages with people that are upset.
Oh, they don't like it.
They're like,
Yeah.
oh, this
Why you go to that liberal? So what you're saying is,
I'm not generous.
They believe, who are them liberals that say that we're generous? I'll cancel Christmas and not be on the same side. So what they're saying is, over at Curved Atlanta, they think they're going with this on the impeachment. And they want us to go to a site that is more like this on impeachment. Is that it?
Yeah, they're more of a peach pundit kind of place.
I got you. All right. Well, look, it's the Wallet Hub survey, and we're generous. That's why.
Yeah, we're very generous.
You know, I saw deep inside of this story, because I go deep, is yeah, not bragging, but some people have the ability. If you got the equipment, go for it. I deep in the story, it says that we have more Christmas tree farms per person.
Yeah.
In most other cities.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. What do they do with all the Christmas trees that don't get sold?
They grind them up.
Is that what they do? They turn them into mulch.
Yeah.
Turn them into firewood? Do they make good firewood?
Pine does not make for good firewood.
Yeah, Alan
No,
Hunt
it burns
would know.
immediately.
Does it? It's not a good, just burns up and then you got to go back out and get more wood?
It makes a huge, tall flame. It
Yeah.
burns really fast, which is
But-
why it's dangerous in your house.
Also, don't remove your mittens. There's a big flame, but you're going to be going outside for more wood very soon. Is that it?
Exactly. Yeah.
What is the best kind of wood for fire?
Hardwoods.
When I go, like my floors. So
Yes.
when I go out and I buy a cord of wood, which
Yeah.
I don't know why it's called a cord, but a cord of wood, and I'm buying good wood. What wood is that?
Hickory, oak.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it
good
says
firewood.
oak, birch, ash, cedar, and then pine is one that's up there too.
So the Christmas trees, we just turn that into mulch and toss that around the garden, right?
What you do is you wad up some newspaper, put it in there if you
Yeah.
got a cold stove.
Sure.
Then you get yourself some sumac and you use that for kindling. You split that up. It's pretty nice. You get that going. And you throw yourself an oak log on there, maybe some ash and some hickory.
Yeah, remove your mittens, take off your boots, sit back, and enjoy yourself a nice hot toddy, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That puts me in the mind of Christmas. You can see I'm in a Christmassy state of. I've got my Christmas jacket on, my Santa Claus hat.
That is your vintage 2019 Christmas jacket.
This
I mean,
is it, man.
bravo.
I'm using it for
man.
every. You know what? And now for every. This is what I wear on the Christmas special. By the
It's
way,
great.
Yeah, and the Christmas special is going to air tomorrow. It's all new and improved. No filler. If you listened on Thanksgiving, might have been a little bit of filler in there, but now no filler. So and also we have the video version of the Christmas special that will drop, Saturday or Sunday, depending on how hard I work between now and then. But that'll be dropping very soon. And I've been wearing this jacket through all of my Christmassy things: the Christmas special, the Clark's Christmas Kids. Anything Christmassy. And now here I am today. And my thing is, every year, I want to be known for my new jackets. So every year for Christmas, what's Eric's jacket going to be? I'm thinking like, Bono got a lot of mileage on, what sunglasses is he going to wear this year? To me, it's the Christmas jacket. So call me the Bono of Christmas. Yes, Autumn?
I was going to ask, did you have you had that jacket for a long time and now it can fit because you've lost so much weight?
No, I actually bought it because I lost weight.
Oh.
I've actually lost weight to the point now where I can buy things online and know that they may not fit perfectly, but they will fit. Meaning
They're not going to be too small.
Not going to be too small. So I was.
That must be nice.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you how it's done. All you got to do is consult me, and I'll tell you how it's done. You have to eat less and move more, and there's really no getting around
I don't
that.
feel like
And
moving
also,
more.
you cannot blame the calendar. Too many people blame the calendar. Oh, I need to lose weight, but it's Christmas time. The calendar does not tell you what you should be eating or what you shouldn't
But there's
be eating.
cookies and all kinds of sweet treats.
Every single day of the year, there's cookies and sweet treats available to adults. I mean, you can stop anywhere and
But
get
I'm
them.
not allowed to eat them then, only at Christmas time.
yeah,
And
so-
when it's Christmas time, I eat all the snacks.
All right, so we're a great, generous, Christmassy city.
Yes, which I'm surprised. Actually, you mentioned that Christmas tree farm thing. We're tied with Miami and Portland, Oregon makes sense, but Miami, Florida,
Well, no, I think in Portland makes less sense because there's a lot of trees. I think there's going to be places in the southeast that have more Christmas tree farms because we don't have as many natural Christmas trees, right? So they're going to be trucked in. That's my guess.
Wow, you know what? That's some logic
Well,
right there.
no. Christmas tree farm. No, I'm getting that wrong. They're talking about a place to go and actually chop down your own Christmas tree.
Well, it says most Christmas tree farms per capita, and
Right.
it's Miami,
So
Atlanta,
I'll be
and
wrong
Portland.
on that. I'll be wrong on that. They wouldn't be trucked in. Those are the ones you go to and you chop them down down, you take the family, and it's wonderful, and then you get home, and in the middle of the night, when a bunch of birds hatch, and you realize, oh, God, that was a real tree, and I've got little birds in my house now. A little bit of a downside.
It's weird. I'm thinking, I wonder if they're able to grow Christmas trees in the Everglades or something like that. I'm assuming that type
you
of...
can't grow pine there.
We call them swamp trees.
Yeah, swamp tree. Swamp. Get that swamp tree in there.
All right. Now, there's a big major news story that we must cover. So,
Oh,
Star
what is
Wars?
Merry Christmas to Atlanta. Yeah, Star Wars is...
It's not performing as
From what I understand...
it's making a lot of money, but people aren't liking it that much.
No, what I'm doing is I'm ignoring anybody who says that they don't like the new Star Wars movie. I just consider to be highly patriarchal and toxic, and I don't listen to them. So that's where my brain is on this. It's very easy. So what big news happened overnight?
Well, this is from the great Jamie Dupree on his blog on WSBRadio.com. The House okayed articles of impeachment against President Trump last night. Now we'll wait for Nancy Pelosi to bring the articles over to the Senate.
Okay, now that's kind of a weird thing. So first of all, let's have the audio because it's not. What was the thing the kids say? Pics or it didn't happen?
Yeah.
Audio or it didn't happen. So let's have.
Here's Article 1.
Article 1.
On this vote, the yeas are 230.
Yeas and the nays.
The nays are 197. Present is 1.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Article 1 is adopted.
It's adopted.
It's adopted.
Oh, you know what
Calm
happened?
down, everybody.
By the way, did you see what happened there?
What?
She had told them. Nancy Pelosi is trying to convince people that they're so reluctant to do this. Like we don't all remember that from day one. Madonna wanted to blow up the White House, and they've been talking about impeaching the president. But Pelosi wants to put on this show like, oh, this is the last thing in the world I want to do. So she wore funeral black, and she told all of her, the squad types, the new socialists, and the AOC types, when this happens, I don't want any applause on the floor. And they couldn't contain themselves. And play it again at the very end. She gets that look, and they stop. But
on this vote, the yeas are 230.
Yeas.
The nays are 197.
Nays.
Present is 1.
Tulsi.
Article 1 is adopted.
Article 1 adopted. You see? They started going there. She looks at him, and they stop.
Article 1 is adopted.
So,
Don't clap.
Article.
Okay.
Did you say Article 1 is adopted?
Article 1 is adopted. Shut up.
Okay,
We have more to go.
Yeah, okay. I know there's some.
We can
hey, don't
celebrate
clap.
quietly behind closed doors.
Hey.
Hey,
Wait.
who's clapping? You stop that, young man. I'll come down here. I'll turn this Senate around right now.
It's not the Senate, it's the House. But
It's the House.
it's okay.
I don't know where I am. Don't we do that here too? I don't
You know your yays and nays, though. Right? You know the yays.
there's a lot of, there's more yays than nays, and there's one person that said they're present.
That was Tulsi.
Shut up.
Oh, sorry, Nancy. Sorry. Do you have Article 2?
Yeah, in case you didn't believe it.
Here we
On
go.
this vote, the yeas are 229. The nays are 198. Present is 1.
Tulsi.
Article 2 is adopted.
Excuse me? Did you
I
see what?
saw you, young lady. I told you to be quiet. Now look, we have more to go. If you continue to applaud, then I'm going to be very upset.
Article 2 was adopted.
Article 2 is, unfortunately, for the country, but best for me and my friends adopted.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Hey, you'll go. You had the opportunity to go before we started reading these articles.
All right, now we get to the point of this is all politics, all political theater. And I just want to say that I could come out here and be, ranty. I just think it's sad. I think it's sad what the country has come to. And a lot of people listening that are fans of the show and the station do not like the fact that I compare the Clinton thing as well. I think that was frivolous. I think anytime you impeach a president knowing that they will not be removed, and a political process becomes completely and totally political. And if you think about it, in the first, about 220 years of the nation, only 2 presidents. Well, if you go for the first 210 or so, only 1 president was impeached. Now, Nixon doesn't count. He knew he was going to be removed, so that's why he resigned. And in the last 20 years, 2 presidents have been impeached. And it's now becoming a political device. And it's just going to get out of hand. And then people can remember. They were talking about it with W as well. They didn't go forward with it, but they were talking about it. It's now on the table because we can't stand the people that we don't vote for now. And they are so offensive to us. No matter who we are, if we lose an election, it comes down to something must be done. And we forget, you're an American. In 4 years, you have the opportunity to do something. But we have opinions are facts now. And that's why we don't debate one another anymore. Why would I debate you? First of all, I know that I'm right. And if I debate you, I normalize your perhaps evil point of view. So we don't talk, we don't debate. And we end up in this situation where everything is the death penalty. Everything is the death penalty. So we can't stop. Do you have, first of all, let's go with Pelosi. So Pelosi's new thing is, we don't think we're going to get a fair trial in the Senate. And therefore, maybe we won't, because normally she would just, they would vote on who's going to, basically be in charge of taking the impeachment over to the Senate. And they'd take it over there.
This is what I don't...
Hold on. But this town, now she's saying, well, we're going to hold on to it for a little while because we don't think we can get a fair trial. But
this is what I don't consider a fair trial. That Leader McConnell has stated that he's not an impartial juror, that he's going to take his cues, in quotes, from the White House.
All right, this is what I'm talking about. Nobody is being honest here. Mitch McConnell said that he's not an impartial juror, and that's why it's not fair. Meanwhile, how many people in the Senate are running for president and in debate and appearance after appearance have said he's guilty and he needs to be removed from office? Are they impartial jurors? They don't care.
I am.
Let me just say that they don't care. They're setting this up understanding most people don't have the time to get into the details. And that is a level of cynicism that I just find just disgusting when it comes to it. It's just disgusting. And it's on the left and the right. It's just that right now it's being driven by the left because they're the ones in charge of this.
Get your daily dose of comic relief with Eric Von Haessler mornings at 9. Then shake off the daily stress.
It's gonna be all right.
With Mark Aram weeknights at 6 on 95.5 WSB.
And there's nothing real about what's going on. I look up at MSNBC. It says breaking news. President impeached.
When?
Then riles base at rally. Breaking news? Does breaking news... Didn't this happen last night? Nothing even means anything anymore. Breaking news is supposed to mean, hey, hold on, we got to stop everything. This just in. This has just happened. It doesn't mean it's a big event. Oh, well, impeachment is so big that it breaks for at least 16, 17, 18 hours. Unlike other normal stories that might crash on the shore within just 15 or 20 minutes.
Breaking news, Eric. It was 8 o'clock an hour and a half ago.
That's right. Yeah. Breaking news. It's 2019.
What?
It's almost over.
This is Rip Van Winkle. What's going on in the news? I've been asleep.
Oh, breaking news.
What?
Nixon resigned.
Oh, what did he do? Oh, it's terrible. I voted for him twice.
Look into it. Now, do you have, to prove the point, are we going to the music so I can't prove the point? Is that music, Alan, are you saying to me in this Christmas season that when the music starts playing, I can't make my point? Well, what good is it even getting the job as a host? If I can be bullied by outro music.
But we have a 25-year-old millennial that wanted to weigh in on the impeachment hearings.
A tease is supposed to bring people back, not push them away.
Christmas, Merry Christmas.
All right, English Nick, I know you're here for Outrage Corner, but I teased a little something first. We have to do that first.
Oh, if you teased it, you got to do it. That's the way it works.
You just sit there and look pretty for a moment.
Okay.
All right. So you have a young millennial from San Francisco.
Yeah, she's 25 years old, and the Associated Press got a hold of her just after the articles of impeachment were passed last night.
They asked her what she thought of the impeachment of the president, and I'm going to take a guess here. Now, look, don't try this at home. I've been a political junkie since I was 17 years old and have the ability to make these leaps of logic.
Expertise.
Expertise,
yeah.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So my guess is you're saying 25-year-old from San Francisco, a millennial from San Francisco. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that she is in favor of the impeachment.
I'm really happy that the Democrats decided to make a statement and impeach Trump and not let him get away with all the things he's been doing. I think there's a danger of people being desensitized and the norm shifting, and the moral ground shifting to things that are really unacceptable.
Yeah, to me, that people would disagree with me. Can anybody figure out exactly the part of what she says there that is so revealing of all of this? There's
what
a
he's
part
been getting away with.
All the things he's been getting away with. She didn't say, I'm really glad he was impeached for making that phone call to Ukraine President Zelensky on July 25th, where he said that where he intimated that he would hold on to the aid if an investigation wasn't started. She didn't say that. She said, I'm glad they're taking a stand and impeaching him for all the things he's doing or all the things that he did. And that's what's going to, if I'm right, I may not be right. You don't know how the people are going to vote. My guess is there's going to be a political backlash, and that's exactly the reason why. People are going to feel as if there have been prominent Democrats talking about impeachment since the day of the inauguration. Literally. I'm not saying it was like around the inauguration. While he was being sworn in as president, there were Democrats with national voices talking about impeachment, and I think most people are going to believe this has nothing to do with Zelensky. By the way, they said bribery, quid pro quo, and they will continue to say those things on television. But what they are aware of is that most of you will not read the articles of impeachment. If any of you bother to, what you'll find is you will not see the word bribery. You will not see the term quid pro quo. They're not in there. And that's the cynicism that's behind most of this. That's why I'm not going to react emotionally to any of this. First of all, I trust the American people. I'm a very strange, odd bird these days. We're going to have an election in November. All of this stuff is going to go down. By the way, Nancy Pelosi deciding to maybe I'll hold on to these articles of impeachment and not send them to the Senate because there's not enough fairness over there and they want to negotiate for the terms of what the Senate trial is going to be. Let me just save you a whole lot of passion and energy. This is a little bit of a play. You got to remember, this whole thing is so that the Democrats can make really what they believe will be really effective campaign commercials next year. So, yes, Nancy Pelosi can hold on to the articles of impeachment and not deliver them, I would say for about a week before it starts to hurt her. If she does this for about 3 days or 6 days, something like that, and then they end up, the Senate saying, no, you're not going to be able to call witnesses and we don't care, and then they can deliver them, well, that 3 days or 6 days is long enough to be able to make a really good campaign commercial where you can add the fact that the Republicans fought against witnesses and that sort of stuff. That's what this is all about. The von Haessler Doctrine will spend the next year responding to what things are really about, not responding to vitriol or people saying, I'm just telling you what it's really about. She has a little power that she can hold on to these things, but she has to know that 6 or 7 days in, the American people will start to turn around and go, what? You impeached him and now you're not even sending it over? But she knows there's a little wiggle room there. 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, make demands. Republicans say no. You turn the articles over anyway, and you've made yourself a little something on the campaign commercials.
Be a nice
next
Christmas gift for President Trump. Just deliver it next week.
Yeah, right there on Christmas Day. Why not?
Do it. Christmas Day, whatever. Ho, ho, ho.
Put it under the tree.
All right. Now we can talk. We'll obviously be talking a lot of impeachment today, but we also have this. So let's do it.
Outrage Corner. That's outrageous. With English Nick.
That's outrageous.
It's outrageous.
English Nick. All right. What is
All
that?
right.
As if the impeachment.
I mean, how do we
enough.
have time to do anything? You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah.
The New York Post is reporting that surveillance footage taken during the first Epstein suicide attempt is missing.
Oh!
Surprise, surprise.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
You guys know me. I've never heard a conspiracy theory in my life that I believe. I believe Lee Harvey Oswald killed Jack Kennedy. Okay. What about all the things that went on? How come things are missing? What happened to his brain? Well, I don't know. A local police department didn't expect to have this drop in their lap one afternoon and really probably weren't prepared for something at this scale. That's how I think of most of it. The drifters on the tracks were drifters on the tracks. Nothing more, nothing less.
Who pulled the trigger?
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yep.
That's what a man went to the moon. I don't believe that there's some kind of weather machine in Bermuda that some of my friends talk about. I don't even understand that one. So I'm not a conspiracy theory guy. I've never heard one that I've ever believed in. But man, oh man, this Epstein thing is different. This guy was powerful, and he knew very powerful people and could have taken an awful lot of people down. Now, here's the thing. I can also understand that he lived the good life and that was over, right? I mean,
Yes.
He's used to living on yachts and having his own private island and being able to have sex with people that the law says you're not supposed to have sex with. And his whole life was going to be nothing but like a Bernie Madoff situation, jail for the rest of his life. I can see how that would push someone like that to commit suicide. But the fact that it was allowed to happen, that the guards weren't looking, and now we lose the footage of the first suicide attempt, which is immediately going to have all the conspiracy people going, well, that's because they don't want you to see the people who tried to murder him the first time or whatever. And as somebody who's diametrically opposed to the concept of conspiracy theories, I just have to just stand on the sidelines on this one because I can't say that there's anything weird about believing that something might be up here. This guy cavorted with princes, presidents, prime ministers all over the world.
A lot of dirt on people.
I follow a lot of people on Twitter that are rational.
Yeah.
And like
there are
you,
rational people on Twitter.
There are a few. And this person that I follow said yesterday when this news broke that if you don't believe there's a conspiracy, then you are a conspiracy theorist.
Right. It's now the conspiracy theory is that he actually just committed suicide and the guards weren't looking.
That's the craziest explanation.
That's the thing. I cannot. Usually, not only do I usually reject conspiracy theories, I'm snooty about it. I'm high and mighty. Wow. I'm not stupid like you to believe that Stanley Kubrick was putting apologies in 2001 or The Shining or whatever it's supposed to be about the helping to fake the moon landing. But this one is just, there's nothing wrong with being suspicious of this. I mean, I just cannot come down and say that there's anything wrong about being suspicious about everything that's going on around this guy. A lot of powerful people. Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton was a friend. More than that, a lot of people are being implicated. Some I can't talk about because it's just like that. All right. But
are you all right?
No, I'm all right.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, got nothing to do with my thing.
Sure.
But I know where my bread.
We believe you.
I know where my bread is buttered. All right, next.
All right, there's a restaurant.
There are high, powerful people, Tim Andrews.
The Wing. Have you heard of the Wing in New York City? There's 9 of these now. There was 8 in this country, 1 in London.
Is it one of those little airports you fly into?
No, it's a woman-only kind of restaurant kind of club. You pay a membership fee to be there.
Oh, so they used to have men's clubs. You can't have men's clubs anymore.
These women are ticked off because men are showing up at the one in New York.
Well, what happened is with this, the Wing, is that it was women only, and then some guy decided to sue. I don't know if he was just clowning or... I have no idea.
He's just clowning.
Why in the world do you want to go sit around and listen to a bunch of ladies
just to stick it in their craw?
Chit chat.
I'm here. You can't make me leave.
Yeah, one
a room full of ladies usually sends me to my home office. All right, honey, you guys have fun. You talk about the things you're talking about. I'll be upstairs.
One lady said it's getting worse. A guy even checked me out a few weeks ago.
Well, that's the whole con. Now you can be like that, but the whole concept, because it's a workout place too, right? By the way, I don't understand workout restaurant / places. Is it a workout place as well? Or is it just a restaurant?
It's a social club.
Oh, okay, social
co-working space and social.
Usually with the men's clubs, they would have squash courts or what do you call it?
Squash court, a spa, a sauna, a place to smoke cigars.
Yeah, we don't have room. We don't have real
guys
estate.
To have a schwitz.
Yeah, let's go get a schwitz.
Gangsters would off each other in the steam.
Like, we don't have enough money or real estate to have a tennis court, but. You want to play squash?
Yeah, play squash.
What's the other game? What's the one against the wall?
racquetball.
Racquetball.
Oh, yeah.
I used to play that in Glendale, California, at the local Y.
Were you good?
No, but it would make me sweat like crazy. I didn't even care if I won. I'd walk out of there. I would go up against my son, who was like 13 at the time, and he would just tear me up. I'd walk out like.
My old buddy used to get beat by Sonny Perdue in the morning when Sonny was governor.
Is racquetball the same as squash?
Yeah, what is
No, it's a bit different.
Different.
Yeah. I think it's a different ball, or maybe it's the same ball but a different racket.
You have to be rich and white to play squash.
Oh,
Basically.
really? It's only played on yachts.
Absolutely, darling. Absolutely marvelous. Yes.
Harvard.
We have the servants dive in and get the.
Yes, you can play handball with our broken squash ball.
But basically, racquetball and handball are the same thing. It's just one you have a racket.
Yeah.
Right. The whole thing's a
When
racket.
you have a hand.
Not everybody has both. You need.
That's true.
Really, I wanted to put up a handball court, and I was told that I could trigger some people who don't have hands. I don't want to do that. All right, what else you got in now?
All right, Princess Meghan Markle. She's been named the UK's most unfairly treated person of 2019.
Who cares?
Because they kept on.
I think it's unfair the way that she gets. They wait on her everywhere she goes, and when she flies, she gets an extra seat for her dog. Oh, and she never ever has to worry about actually eating or paying one single bill in her entire life. And everywhere she goes, she's celebrated. But I guess it's not all perfect. So I guess that I'd rather be, I don't know, somebody who is a pensioner, a common pensioner.
Yeah,
they're probably treated better over in England than Meghan Markle.
There might be a single mother who makes 15 grand a year who's got some struggles.
Probably doesn't cry nearly as much.
But she's a new mom. It's really hard to be a new mom.
She's the only one in England.
Yeah.
Can you believe they're going after her like that?
Greta Thunberg was 4th on this list.
That she is mistreated?
Most unfairly treated person in 2019.
All she does is show up and yell at people. Why would anybody want to be nice with that? Yeah. Bum, bum, bum.
It is
I'm in
tonight.
a very Christmassy mood.
I love this one.
You got your Christmas jacket on.
Yeah. I ain't gonna let DC get me down.
Nah.
This is my Christmas. You only live so long, which means you only get so many Christmases. Yeah. I ain't gonna let politics bring me down. We all know what's gonna happen and not happen, and then we'll have an election, right? Isn't it really that easy? And yet they're going to fill up 24-hour news for a year
until the election.
I just told you.
I need more.
He's impeached. He's not going to be removed. And then next November, the American people will decide this.
Question, if he gets another term, will they continue down that road?
No, they won't. Actually, I'll answer that more on the other side because there's a good reason why they won't. As a matter of, if he wins again, we can just do it right here. You have to understand that usually when you lose an election as a national party that you think you should have won, like the last time, there's a forensics that goes on after it. Where did we go wrong? How did we lose these voters? And what do we have to do to get those voters back? But because they have been in this hubris cloud of he didn't win legitimately, the Russians helped him, all of this kind of stuff has kept the Democrats from saying, how did we lose these people in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin? But if they impeach him and next November he wins and wins bigger, like say he wins 40 states, something like that, then they will be forced to do the forensics, and there will be no appetite to continue to go after him because they'll realize, we've lost 2 in a row. We doubled down. The American people doubled down on us. So now we got to figure out exactly how to start speaking to these swing voters again. That's my guess. And I ate up all your outrage.
That's why I needed an answer to my question.
Merry Christmas, English Nick.
Merry Christmas.
You know what this is? This is English Nick and his buddy Randy Drake doing a sort of punk rock version of the Christmas song that I wrote last year. Let's hear it, Lily.
So good.
That's right, Christmas.
Christmas is my kind of Christmas.
Toys.
And
family.
Do you have this video separated out of just the song?
Well, I mean, we're doing the. So this is what's happening: is tomorrow in this time slot, the Christmas special will run again, sort of, because it's a new and improved Christmas special, even from Thanksgiving. You know, I'm very transparent with my audience, Tim.
I understand.
And we had a hell of a deadline with that Thanksgiving thing, and we've learned our lesson. Starting next year, on Thanksgiving, last year's Christmas special will run, and the Christmas special will drop analogous to this Friday, to tomorrow, next year. So, but there was a little bit of filler in there. But we've added extra stuff. So even if you heard it once, you want to hear it again because we got all the filler out of it. So that's going to run tomorrow on the radio, and we'll run 5 or 6 more times throughout the season before we get back in January.
Then it's Jay Black's year-end special after that, which is another amazing show.
And I don't want to miss that. And then we also have Ghost of Christmas Specials Past, which will be running. But on Saturday or Sunday, depending on how hard I work on the finishing touches of the edit, the video version of the Christmas special, which is based on the Christmas specials I used to watch on TV, like in the 70s when I was growing up, that will drop. And inside of there, the video for English Nick. They call themselves the Parsons Drake Orchestra, PDO. Do Thismas Is My Kind of Christmas, along with Autumn's version of Wham's Last Christmas, and Christina, known as Jared's girlfriend around here, does her version of Sleigh Ride, and Driving and Crying does their version of Run, Rudolph, Run, the Chuck Berry song. And they're all in their video. I will tell you this, Autumn, last night I was watching the video of your Last Christmas, and I was laughing so hard.
I couldn't watch it.
I was laughing so hard. And I was thinking, I was like, are people really going to get... I don't know, and I don't care. But it was edited together like really like a 1982 MTV video.
Awesome.
And I just found it... It's like even later than that. Even like in the early 90s, like Taylor Dane or something. I don't know. But
Greg did all of that.
Yeah,
he did all that editing.
Yeah, I was just laughing so hard. And I thought, I don't know if people are going to get this or not. I don't care. I'm just laughing so hard. It's you don't want to miss the video version of the Christmas special either. Of course, you want to listen to the audio version, but you don't want to miss the video. The video version actually has things that the audio version doesn't have. For instance, there's 3 parts of a quiz show where we pit the team traffic against team news. And on the radio version, a lot had to be cut out for time. But on the video version, it's a lot more conversational and more fun. And Jay Black is sitting up there for no good reason. We have a real good time. So we have a lot of good Christmassy stuff.
Eye candy.
Coming for you. That's what he's there for. He was there for eye candy. Yes.
You can grab the video special. That'll be out again once Eric. Which, by the way, I wanted to ask you: when you say working, is that whiskey? Is that what that means? Working.
They both start with a W, so why not combine them?
You said you're going to be doing a lot of working this weekend, a lot of whiskey.
Well,
this weekend.
That's how you know that the video version of the Christmas special ultimately is going to be a knockout, because I'm surely going to be quite drunk by the end of the editing tweaks. So I'm very proud. I'm very proud of everything that we're doing this year. People should tune in. It's a lot of fun.
And you'll be able to grab that video. You'll be able to grab it on the Von Haessler Doctrine Facebook page, the Von Haessler Doctrine Instagram, and the Von Haessler Doctrine YouTube page.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be able to figure out how to get it up to all those places. But that's the plan. That's the plan, is to have it available at all of those places. So keep a lookout for that. And tomorrow morning, the all new and improved 2019 Von Haessler Doctrine Christmas special, The Greg That Stole Christmas.
Which it sounds awesome. You won't want to miss that tomorrow.
Absolutely, you won't. And now, no filler.
And you know what? We forgot to cover this from yesterday. This poll actually ended in the last hour, but we've been taking our very own kind of. There's been a lot of lists that have come out, like Times Person of the Year.
Well, who cares about Times Person of the Year? I care about Tim's Doodle of the Year, 2019.
And we had a playoff format. We had 4 final pictures that Tim picked. Those were his favorite throughout the year, and then you, as the listeners, had a chance to vote on them on the Von Haessler Doctrine Facebook page.
Do we now have a champ in the third round?
We do have a champion, and that was Snippy Longstocking. Greta Thunberg has Snippy Longstocking, destroying Colin Kaepernick. I think it was 79-21.
Well, Colin Kaepernick was wearing the Betsy Ross, the Rush Limbaugh Betsy Ross T-shirt, right?
I don't like it. I got to talk to Pete Spriggs. I don't like it. These knockoffs.
It was an homage.
$498 million different companies.
It wasn't a knockoff. It was just an homage. It would be funny if Colin Kaepernick actually bought one of those shirts and wore it. That was the idea there.
Yes.
I'm surprised it was such a... I think what happens is people, maybe they don't like Colin Kaepernick, and maybe they don't quite get the concept here, is it's which is the better doodle.
Yeah.
Not who do you... But then again, if they don't like Kaepernick, they may not like Greta Thunberg either. So
some of the comments were like that on here. They were like...
Why would I give a vote? Did you get it? It's comedy.
like Maria here. She says they are both winners for sure, but I have to agree with one of the other listeners. The Kaepernick drawing really captures him. So she picked Kaepernick, and then other people are like, it was very close. I mean, obviously, all of Tim's doodles are amazing.
Thank you, Jerry.
And so now, what's the big prize? There's no big prize.
Oh, you just picked it.
We know that the doodle of the year, Tim's. Well, I need a timpani. Can you somebody?
Boom, 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 boom.
Tim's doodle of the year, 2019. Snippy Longstocking.
How dare you?
And congratulations to everyone who voted. Let's do this.
More headlines for Thursday, December 19th.
Oh, yeah. Well, I like that. Getting funky. 2019, we're saying goodbye with a little bit of funk.
Get it funky now.
Get that funk out of here. That 2019.
We're going into the 20s.
Oh, yeah. I know, that's 100 years. Wouldn't it be great if we just all had like flapper girls again?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it
But don't
went
look at
all
them.
the way back around.
Yeah, all the way. But they're Me Too flapper girls.
Oh.
So it's like, I'm not doing this for you. Okay, I get it.
22 skidoo, not for you.
Don't look at money.
I think we should do it exactly the same way. Have an absolutely blast. Have a great time. Drink a lot of bathtub gin, and then have the whole market crash in 29.
Don't look at my bosom.
Pardon me, pal. Are you respecting your spouse now? It's a whole different deal. All right, what do you got?
You can go and sit down. Sorry.
Pardon me, Pat. What is that one?
Pardon me, boy. Is that the Chattanooga Choo-Choo?
No, there's another one. There's a lot of pardon songs like Can You Spare a Dime?
Brother, can you spare a dime?
Was that a Depression era song?
I think so, yeah.
People must have been, hey, I want to hear songs about how crappy my life is.
Yeah.
Why would you want to listen to
Standing in
that?
a bread line.
Standing in a bread line.
Today it'd be
Nobody's
brother.
got work.
Brother, can you spare $50?
Asking your rich brother for money.
I like those days when they had all those novelty songs. Yeah, it doesn't matter whatever something was invented, And it's a steam engine. It's a steam engine. I miss those days. I don't miss those days unless there's reincarnation because I wasn't around in those days. All right, what do you got?
All right, well, all the impeachment shenanigans were going on last night.
Shenanigans? That sounds to me like an editorial comment, sir.
Well, you be the judge of that one. While all that stuff was going on, President Trump held a Merry Christmas rally in Battle Creek, Michigan last night.
Did he now?
I don't know about you, but I'm having a good time.
Man, this guy knows how to party.
Somebody get me some cereal. Home of Kellogg's. I'm not worried. Have you seen my poll?
Oh, hey.
It's a real big one.
Hey.
It's a big one, by the way.
Some
people are saying it's the biggest poll ever, the best poll. Have you seen my poll?
Well, sir.
Melania, where's my poll? I can't find it.
I put it under the cabinet.
Okay, great. Wonderful, wonderful.
All right, so he had his rally, and my guess is that he went off on the Democrats. A matter of fact, it says breaking news on MSNBC. President riles up base after being impeached. This breaking news happened at least 16 hours ago now, but I guess it's still breaking news.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried because it's always good when you don't do anything wrong, you get impeached. That may be a record that will last forever. But you know what they have done? They've cheapened the impeachment process.
That's true, but doesn't it say at the beginning, doesn't it sound like the drunk person at the party? I can drive!
Hey, I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
I can drive.
I only live 5 miles from here, so give me a key. I'm not worried. Look, I know the cop. Yeah, we're good. I'm not worried.
What do you say? I can't drive?
I'll show you. Give me a key. I'm not worried.
By the way, kids, the Haessler Doctrine says don't drink and drive this holiday season. What else did he have to say at the rally?
I'm the first person to ever get impeached, and there's no crime. I feel guilty. You know what they call it? Impeachment Lite. It's Impeachment Lite.
Which is the...
That's why, with Richard Nixon, I just see it as a very dark era. Very dark, you don't even like to think. I don't know about you, but I'm having a good time. It's crazy.
I heard Nixon's in favor of his impeachment, which surprised me.
I don't think he should get away with it. What you say here is a guy who is a known crook.
You're saying he is a crook?
Well, he bilked people out of millions in New York City. Who knows? He probably has mob ties. If we could only get those tax returns.
Nixon has turned into a big liberal in his death.
Me too.
You're all for the Me Too movement, huh?
Oh, yes.
So you don't agree
Too
with
late.
You were always kind to Pat. I mean, you
I was
respected
kind
her-
of Pat if she kept her mouth shut.
So President Nixon, what did you call it? Impeachment light too?
Impeachment light.
No, I called it impeachment.
That's why you resigned. It may have been impeachment light, but it was resign heavy.
Yes, it was.
So, impeachment light is it's the new beer that all the kids are the millennials.
Impeachment light.
Less filling. Less filling than your other impeachments.
Yeah, you drink it after you work out, right? Like in those commercials for the light beer.
They say it tastes great. I don't think it's very good, but I don't mind that it's less filling.
Impeachment light.
Gotta watch that spare time.
Yes, pop a cold one more time.
Impeachment light.
There we go. My favorite beer. Everyone's arguing. Really, what it is, it's the whole country is arguing great taste, less filling. Really, aren't we a 50-50 country on
We are
impeachment
50-50.
light?
Hillary? I don't know. Never mind, because I can't say it without being mean.
Have you seen my poll?
Have yourself
Uh-oh.
a merry little
This is Autumn Fisher
Let your
in her version.
heart be light
This is from one of the Christmas
from now.
2018.
specials from the past.
2018?
Yeah.
2018.
Autumn doesn't have her headphones on, so she doesn't know that we're playing her right now. So I want to get to, on the rally last night, the thing that people are... He always throws a piece of red meat out there that drives the left crazy. And this was... so Debbie Dingle's late husband, John Dingle, right? He was up there forever. Look at your eyes like, I never heard of him.
No, I'm trying to recall my brain.
He was a
right.
congressman for 192 years.
Yeah.
He died, then his wife took over. And I guess he's talking about how he made sure that it was a big deal when her late husband died. And I guess she voted to impeach him, but she called him and said that was great. And then he kind of intimated that, I don't know if he's in heaven or if he's in hell.
So she calls me up like 8 months ago. Her husband was there a long time. But I didn't give him the B treatment. I didn't give him the C or the D. I could have. She calls me up. It's the nicest thing that's ever happened. Thank you so much. John would be so thrilled. He's looking down. He'd be so thrilled. I said, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Maybe he's looking up. I don't know.
Maybe he's looking up.
Well, maybe, because when you're in outer space, there's no up or down.
Slow down. Now,
What?
what you're saying is you weren't saying that he might be in hell.
No, I wasn't saying
What
he was
were
in
you
hell.
saying?
I
You
was
were
saying heaven's in space.
Okay.
Okay? And you're in space. There's no up, there's no down, there's no back, there's no front, there's no sides.
You're getting very philosophical with me here. What do you say? How you don't
What,
know
you've
if
never
you're...
taken a philosophical... I mean, you have, but a lot of people haven't.
Philosophy 101.
Philosophy 101, Jared.
Is this what you're saying, Donald Trump? Is that you see heaven as being in outer space? And in outer space, if you don't have anything that you're relative to, you don't know if you're up or down?
Exactly. Look, say you're in space, you're floating, you don't see anything, you don't see a star, you don't see a planet, a comet, whatever, a spaceship, aliens, whatever.
I'm not worried.
I'm not worried. You're just floating. You're floating and you're floating. You're jumping.
I don't know about you, but I'm having a good time.
And you look down, and you don't see anything. You look up. Oh, look, it's Earth. Hi, Earth.
No, if you see Earth, then you know you're up.
Well, no, because you could be anywhere.
No, you're not even understanding your own point.
I am making a point.
You
I'm
have
making
to
a
have
point.
no reference point to not know if you're up or down.
You're floating, you're floating, you're floating.
If you see a star, then you'll know by this position and your position what your position is.
But you
if
don't
you're
know.
out there and you see nothing but outer space and you're so
Right.
far out there that there's no light and you're nothing, you don't see anything, then you yourself don't know if you're upright or you're upside down because you have no reference.
Well, I don't know if I'm coming or going. Look, we're just here. I'm looking up, looking away.
This is what happened to JFK Jr. Seriously, when he was flying upside down at night over water because he didn't know that he was upside down. You have to have some reference. So this is what you're saying. You weren't saying that former Representative Dingell may be in hell. You're saying he's in heaven in outer space and he doesn't know if he's looking
doesn't
up
know
or
where
down.
he's looking.
Okay.
I'm not worried.
Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, a ring, ting a tingling too.
There's Christina
Come on, it's
Ackland,
lovely weather for a sleigh ride
a.k.a.
together with
Jared's
you.
girlfriend. Another great
Outside
tune
the
you can hear on the
snow is
Christmas
falling,
special.
friends are calling you.
Radio version.
Come on,
Playing tomorrow in this
it's
time
lovely
slot.
weather for a sleigh ride
Television
together
commercial.
with you.
Yeah, Saturday or Sunday. Television version, I should say. Not television commercial.
Yes?
She's looking for you guys. There's a whole theme to it. You got to hear it and you have to see it. And also, I want to let people know there's things in the radio version of the Christmas special that are not in the video version. And there's things in the video version that are not in the Christmas special. So it's a whole area to be explored and with your family and enjoy yourself.
So basically, you have to listen to it. You have to watch it multiple times.
You don't have to do anything. If you want to have a better Christmas season, this is what I would recommend to enjoy yourself. Some joy. You know, I've already stated my position on impeachment. I think it's just a sad indictment on the country, and I don't care who you voted for. We impeached one president in the first 200 some odd years, and now we've impeached two in the last 20. It's becoming frivolous, and people cannot stand the person that wins what that they don't vote for, and now impeachment is just becoming part of that tool. But I must say, we're not going to play your open mics where you call in and indicting the station because we're reporting there was an impeachment yesterday. You know, it is time for everyone listening to me to put on your big boy and girl pants or dress or whatever and grow up. This is a news station. As one guy called it, Jamie Dupree spending a lot more time on the impeachment than on the rally last night. Let me lay it out for you, and it doesn't matter how you vote. And this is 2 + 2 = 4. This is a fact. When the American people, whether you agree with it or not, the American people, politicians on the Hill, because it's not the will of the people, I don't believe. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. When the House of Representatives impeaches a president for only the third time in history, whether you like it or not, that is a bigger news story than the president held his 3,956th rally. What's more interesting to me? The rally. But if you're listening to me right now and you somehow believe that every story that's reported by the news department is somehow indicative of some sort of advocacy for that position, you're not nearly as smart as you've convinced yourself that you are. And it's that simple. News is news. Is there fake news? Yes, it has a meaning. It's overused like everything else. The fact that the president was impeached yesterday does not qualify as fake news. If you think it is, again, you've convinced yourself that you're a lot more intelligent than you actually are. I shouldn't have to give this lecture. The news doesn't exist to tell you what you already knew you knew. Take the K out, add an S to the end. News. Not new. Not KNEWS. We're not here to give you the news that you already knew. It is idiotic that there are people listening to this radio station that believe that we should ignore the fact that the third president in history has been impeached. If you're one of those people, again, I hope I'm hurting your feelings. You're not nearly as intelligent as you've convinced yourself that you are. And you better toughen up. You got to deal with other people's opinions. And then you have to figure out why you disagree with them. And then you have to be able to argue that. And all that takes you and your mind and filtering. But if you're on the right and you don't think that we should be telling you about impeachment, then you're exactly like the people on the left who say, I won't debate them because to debate them is to normalize them. You're exactly the same thing. When I was growing up, Republicans were the adults. They were not, their feelings were not hurt easily. They really didn't care. You just go, you don't care about poor people. And they knew you were wrong and they didn't give a damn. They're like, yeah, grow up, get a job, pay some taxes, come back and talk to me in 10 years. Now, both sides are just mirrors of each other. So a lot of our listeners who love to laugh about snowflakes and being triggered, we're getting open mics. Somehow we've triggered you as a news station by reporting that the third president in history was impeached. Again, to report something is not to advocate for it. I know you watch Fox News because you know you're their advocate. But that's not news. That's a television show based on current events of some kind. And on the left, they have their MSNBC and CNN, and it's all the same thing. That's called pamphleteering. Long history of it in the United States of America. Before we had the news that we think of where they try to remain neutral and all that, remember those days? Beginning of this republic, it wasn't like that. Everybody with an opinion and a printing press basically put out their own pamphlets, and that was the news. And people consume the news a lot then like they do now. I go to my favorite state, I go to Fox, or I go to MSNBC. Well, you went to the pamphleteers that you agreed with or disagreed, that you agreed with, and you got their pamphlets, and they told you what the news was from your perspective. That's what's going on here. But that's not news, that's pamphleteering. That's rallying the troops. We give you the news. We don't tell you what you're supposed to do with it. And why the hell are you so in need of being told what to do with it? Why don't you want to hear everything and decide for yourself? Here's a good question. What's the last opinion you came up with that you didn't hear on radio or see on television? Let's do this right here. You have the Jay Black stuff?
One man to beat. He cuts behind him. 20. He's going to go. 5. Touchdown.
Georgia Bulldogs and sports with Jay Black.
And I was talking about Jay there because he said he wasn't going to come out and talk because we were reporting on the impeachment. I said, Jay. That didn't happen
I need
at all.
you to tell me what to think.
That's exactly right. That's what I'm here for.
Eric is your pamphleteer.
Yes, I'm your Let me be your pamphleteer. Got it. Jay Black we brought in because as I was driving in, I heard that the Bulldogs got an A+. I don't know from whom. Got an A+ on the first is it day one of national signing, or what is it?
I would give it a A-. An
A-.
A-.
Seeing the glass, the football is half empty, if you will.
There's room to grow, and there's time to grow because while signing day is a little different than it used to be because we have 2 of them now, so two recruiting periods. So this is the early one. Georgia got 17 players signed yesterday. They're ranked 4th in the country. They've got 1 5-star, a bunch of 4-star receivers, and they've beefed up on the offensive line.
Is the 5-star the quarterback?
The 5-star is not the quarterback.
Okay, quarterback's 4-star.
The quarterback, though, has a 5-star name. His name is Carson Beck.
All right, just put him right to the NFL.
That is an All-American.
Carson Beck is going to be the quarterback of the 49ers one day, no doubt. I think it's going to go well here. So you do wonder if people want. I want to have because I noticed this because I'm a sports I'm a NASCAR fan, and it's so often these drivers have names that are just absolutely. Lake Speed.
Yeah, perfect for NASCAR.
Yeah, Scott Speed.
Yeah.
How do you, and it seems to me like if you want your son to be a quarterback, Carson's a good name.
You don't really need to scout quarterbacks. You just need a phone book.
That's all you need. Just find out. Just start calling around.
And when you see Carson Beck, check. I'm going to go look at him.
I don't know. For me, I'm looking for anybody named Lamar right now.
Yes.
Anybody named Lamar.
You might have a point there.
All right. So, but it looks pretty good. He looks good, and
So they have. There's still some top targets out there. There's one 5-star offensive lineman who didn't sign yesterday. He was waiting till the late period to do so in February. So Georgia did pretty well. Fake Jay Black will appreciate this. Georgia Tech, top 25 recruiting class, their best recruiting class since 2007.
How about that, fake Jay Black?
Looks like Georgia's going to have somebody to face that isn't a pushover. I say next year, Yellow Jackets will be number 1, win the championship.
That's fake Jay Black. He's very optimistic about his.
Sound a little worn out covering the Jackets recruiting yesterday.
Well, it was tough. I drank a lot. And
Well, fake Jay Black drinks. Jay Black doesn't drink at all.
I appreciated your offer for Christmas present of
I know.
alcohol,
I walked in this morning.
It down.
I kind of thought, I said, Jay Black, because I'm giving out champagne and wine because it's our last day before the Christmas holidays. And I just walked out. I saw Jay, and I'm going to ask. One of us said, Jay, do you drink alcohol? He said, no. I said, well, I'll just shake your hand and say thank you very much for a great year. So
meanwhile, fake Jay Black out of here, and this will be good for dinner tonight.
Fake Jay Black drinks his whiskey clear.
Oh, yeah. So what National Signing Day, now there's no people back out of these things sometimes now, don't they? More than they used to.
When you sign, that's it.
Okay.
What the players do is when they commit someone.
Right, okay.
That's the different term. So people
But
cover.
back in the old days, though, commitment meant commitment. I mean, what does the word commit mean? It means you're in, right?
Yes, it does until you commit to somewhere better.
Yeah, that's right.
Which I guess is like some people's marriage.
We've had that. We've had those times in our lives,
So
all of
that's-
us, where we committed, and then somebody else walked into the bar, and we were a little less committed just for a few hours.
So that's why the WSB Sports Department just has a policy not to go all out on recruiting until now, because now is when it matters. When you put pen to paper, that's when it's
Now,
serious.
what about our rivals? They did well. Obviously, I'm assuming Alabama did well, and
Yes.
LSU.
So Georgia had the top 4 class in the country, but most of the teams in the SEC are in the top 10.
Right. So the rest
Clemson-
of college football is just going to suck again, like it always
That's
has.
right. Clemson has a historically good class, which
Yeah.
is just what they need. Is more great players
Do
to
you think they're
dominate.
the sleeper this time around? I think they're a sleeper. Nobody's talking about Clemson in the playoffs.
I think that's exactly what Dabo Swinney wants to do, and I think they're going to beat Ohio State.
Do you think so?
I
That's
think-
gonna be you think LSU's gonna? You think LSU's not going to make it to the national championship?
Well, LSU will beat Oklahoma.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's the first round.
Yes, Clemson,
So you
Clemson
think
will
it's
play
you
Ohio
think-
State, and I think Clemson's going to beat Ohio State in the Fiesta Bowl.
You think it's going to be Clemson versus LSU?
LSU, and I don't have a a prediction for that one yet, but I think that's going to be a
I have a
fantastic
prediction.
national championship.
The quarterback's going to have really long hair.
He does.
Prediction. One of the quarterbacks in that game is going to have really long hair. So
That
when
is
is
Trevor Lawrence from Cartersville, Georgia. by
When
the
is
way.
How come he went to Clemson rather than Georgia?
Dabo Swinney beat Kirby Smart on that one. Georgia's actually going to have two. You have 2 quarterbacks from the state of Georgia. In the
Because this guy
playoffs.
Trevor Lawrence, I don't know about this year because I haven't watched him as much. Last year, I thought just quit and go to the NFL right now. He looked like a guy who could just. Last year, it looked like he could walk into the NFL and take a team to the Super Bowl. He's kind of settled down a little bit this year.
He'll be just fine.
I believe he will. All right, Jay Black. When's the next one? When's the next signing day?
That'll be, and so they got 2 more days. They can sign for the rest of the week, and then again in February they can sign again.
Well, it's a date. You come back on February
I'll
again.
be back in February.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
I wish
buddy.
you were a drinker. I would have. Man, I had something here. I would have knocked
Aito.
you out. I know. We're going to go to lunch,
All
right?
right.
I'm taking everybody
Go
to
to
lunch. Except for Autumn, because she's not here.
Aw.
Gone away is the bluebird.
Hey, remember that kid who ruined Christmas? You know, when he told you who Santa Claus really was? Well, he got more than a lump of coal. He got his own talk show. Eric Von Haessler on 95.5 WSB.
Sometimes I don't trust Tim Andrews' sources, but you're just saying that Representative Clyburn is from South Carolina, right?
Yeah, this was on CNN at 8:06.
So this idea of not delivering the articles of impeachment to the Senate because they feel like the trial is going to be unfair.
Right.
As if the indictment process was completely fair. So he was asked whether. What did you just say to me?
Well, I don't know who the person is, the talking head, but the question was, are you suggesting it's possible you will never transmit the articles of impeachment? And Clyburn replies, if it were me, yes, that's what I'm saying.
That makes 0 sense. We're going to impeach him, and then we don't like the way you play the game, so we're going to take the impeachment football home.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, whatever they're doing, they've focus grouped, and they've got some sort of idea of what. Although they've been very ham-handed through this whole process, everything they're doing is based on focus groups that I don't know where they're getting these groups from because I think they're losing. And it doesn't matter. People need to understand. It doesn't matter if you love Trump or you hate Trump. You're not on the table. The politicians know how you're going to vote if you vote. This only matters. All that matters, the only real audience is the swing voter. The person who votes Democrat sometimes and Republican sometimes, that went for Trump by very small margins in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. And my feeling is that all of this is going to come back to bite the Democrats in November of next year because I think those swing voters aren't going to like what they're seeing. We'll find out if I'm right or I'm wrong. And they've gotten themselves to this point with all of their focus grouping. So I don't know who they're focusing this for. I don't know what voter will go, yeah, you impeached him and then you wouldn't let the Senate put him on trial. That's exactly what I was asking for.
It might be the same groups that worked on that new Star Wars film, Eric.
Oh, it's like a committee is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
I think so.
Makes for a bad film.
It's Christmas. You have your family.
Hour 2.
You've got your friends in the presence.
Of the Von
They
Haessler Doctrine
never
begins right now.
But me,
This is
I'm alone.
Greg
I
Russ's
just
song.
sit at home.
The Christmas
with
special.
Nothing on my mind and no one in my heart. Where did I go wrong?
All right.
I've
I don't want to
tried
give it all away.
Oh, my God. I
The
can't
Von
believe it.
Haessler Doctrine Christmas Special 2019. The Greg that stole Christmas. will be playing tomorrow morning in this time slot. And if you heard it on Thanksgiving, it's better. We got rid of all the filler. You know, I'm watching the monitors there, and Nancy Pelosi says she speaks after the House impeaches Trump. She's giving a press conference, and I can't hear it, but I think it sounds something like, what are you saying, Nancy?
It's very important. We've got to do all the articles of impeachment.
You got to do all the ayes for impeachment?
All the ayes and the nays and the yays.
Yeah, I can't really understand what you're
and
saying.
The presents. There's only one person. You think you get more presents for Christmas.
No, that was very funny. That's about Tulsi Gabbard. She voted present.
Well, we don't know. I mean, we assume.
Yes.
Right?
No, they know. You know.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, you call their name and they vote.
I just was waiting to do the thing where I read at the end. I don't know.
It's not a secret ballot when you're in the House of Representatives.
I think Pelosi is behind this hashtag trend here. Tulsi Coward is the 8th biggest trend in the U.S.
Oh yeah, because God forbid, this is no matter. This doesn't matter where you are politically. What's that? I'm sorry, you think that's funny? Are you laughing, Nancy Pelosi?
She voted present, so people are saying she's a coward.
You go get a hold of yourself. You really gotta pull yourself together there, Nancy.
Also, I thought it was, I really like your look this morning. I think you look really dapper.
I don't know what you're saying.
I would impeach you.
Are you hitting on me, Nancy Pelosi?
I think you're very tall. Okay. And you seem to be the same age as me, I think.
No, I'm not quite that old. No, it's the gray. It's the gray goatee. Makes you think that I'm 90.
I like that, too.
Yeah, okay. Well, Nancy Pelosi's hitting on me. She
robbing the cradle.
You know what I didn't notice?
Into a little role play? That's what I'm into.
Oh, really? A little role play? What are you, like a fair-minded legislator? Is that the role you're playing right now?
Patient. The doctor will be in soon, but until he gets here.
Okay. All right, Dan. We don't need any more of that. So
just turn on your side. Get over on your side. Okay. I'll take care of it.
This is some kind of you're grossing me out, some kind of weird way. I never noticed this before. She's standing in front of course, the American flags. Democrats really want you to know that they're Americans. Every time they speak, there's like 900 American flags behind them. They used to make fun of Republicans for that, but now they're just like, if Nancy Pelosi's speaking, get 1,000 American flags out there.
Well, and all of the talk about the founding fathers.
Yeah. And then we'll tout a bunch of socialism for you. But there's, I didn't realize that they have their own flag, the House of Representatives. You'd think I would have noticed this by now. They have their own flag. Oh. Would anybody see it there?
Yeah.
Would anybody recognize their flag? Does the Senate have a flag as well? I guess maybe they do.
We have a flag, yeah.
You have a flag?
Yeah, it's the Stars and Bars.
Oh, that's right. You'll have one. No.
Oh, wait, it's not that anymore?
It's not that.
Okay, well, just
that would be wrong completely. Mitch McConnell's from Kentucky, He's a little confused.
In this case, it's the Democrats who were being the rebels, just like they were in the Civil War.
Is that the truth?
That's true.
I think you need to go back and have a couple more drinks.
Oh, I'm too tired to drink until like maybe noon.
Yeah, they have their own flag. I want my own flag. Can we have our own flag? If the House of Representatives has a flag, I want a flag.
I think we should have one.
It'll be like a crest.
No,
it'll be a flag.
It'll be a flag.
No, I know, but the flag, in the middle of the flag,
have
a
crest on the flag.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it would be like before, if you were still eating the honey buns, it could be like a honey bun.
Well, that's still part of the legacy. The crest is the legacy.
Should
so
be a bunch of feet making steps.
Yeah, feet making steps. And I don't know. We can come with somebody. We got a lot of listeners. Somebody asked me to come up with a good flag. And then everywhere we go, every appearance. I want it to be made. I want it to be a real flag. I want it on a flagpole with a stand. And every time we go and do a remote, we take our flag with us. And we walk into the room with the flag and a drummer boy first walks in.
Can I be the drummer boy?
You can be the drummer boy. Do you know how to drum?
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
You know how to do that thing she's doing?
I played it, and I was in marching band.
Were you in marching band?
I was in marching band. I was in orchestra band.
Sorry,
Autumn,
I forgot to mute my mic. I'm sorry.
Were you in a marching band?
No.
Oh,
in middle school, I marched around the parking lot with my clarinet.
Oh, well, that's fantastic.
So,
did no one told you to do
and
that?
And then I wised up, and I wasn't a nerd.
Oh,
you want to be a nerd.
Yeah. You decided not to be a nerd, and now you don't know how to play an instrument.
I got kicked out of band.
Oh, well, that makes you...
Sweet, for
you're
what?
cool.
There
You're cool, man.
What'd you do?
I didn't show up for a concert.
Oh, sweet, dude.
Wow, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Tim Andrews.
He left early.
Tim, I'll meet you at 7:30. Where's Tim? No, it's always the same.
In the other concert, he came, but he left early.
Let's do this. Uh-oh.
Hi, it's Paul Stanley, and this is Paul Stanley Presents, the latest in music and entertainment news, only on the Von Haessler Doctrine.
Now, Paul Stanley is on his final, he swears to the Lord, final farewell tour.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the 19th one they've had.
Right.
It's only going to be, it's in 2 years or so, it's going to be over, right?
I think so.
And then Paul Stanley, he wants to do something after Kiss, and he said, I'd like to be an entertainment reporter. So I said, hey, whenever you're in town, when you have the ability, we'll go to you, Paul Stanley, for an entertainment report.
But first, before we do that, I do want you to know that there's 2 different Kisses that'll still be touring. We have Chick Kiss.
Mm-hmm. Can you say that anymore?
I think so.
Okay.
I just did.
All right, I know.
And Midget Kiss.
Can you say that anymore?
I just did.
I thought it was Little Kiss.
I think they're called Midget Kiss.
Are they called Midget? I thought they're called Little People Kiss.
They're short stuff.
Short Kiss.
Short stack.
Short bus.
Wow, there's lots of news going on.
Yeah, in entertainment, Paul Stanley?
Yes, we're not going to talk about impeachment, even though to me that's entertainment because, I mean, why? You just want to get upset? Watch the news.
Okay, is that this? I know that Gene Simmons, he's a big Trumper, so he's probably upset today, I would think.
He won't take anybody's calls. He thinks this is ridiculous. He sent an email out to all of us in KISS, maybe not, Ace, whatever, but
Is Ace in KISS anymore?
Well, he's riding the fence.
I got you.
But Gene said, don't bother me. I'm a little upset. This is ridiculous. I can't believe that Nancy Pelosi is doing this. But, it's the same old, same old.
Well, by the time you get back out on stage, you're blowing fire, and spitting blood.
Spitting blood, just like Nancy Pelosi. Did you see her yesterday? She was spitting blood all over the house.
Hey, that was Joe Biden with his eyes.
No, it was you. I saw you spitting blood. And then...
Did she get rid of the Band-Aid from last week?
I think she got her nose pierced is what it was.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
She get one of those,
they don't want you to show it, so you put a Band-Aid over.
Well, right now she has a stud in it, but I mean, I'm just going to get the hoop of it.
He only brings that up because I think there are Kiss nose rings available on
there
the
are. You can
website.
get the Kiss nose ring.
$50 a piece.
Oh, no, 60.
And if you go to Forever 21 and get your nose pierced, you get a 10% discount if you buy the $50 nose ring, right?
No.
Forever.
Thank you.
Well,
they don't do discounts.
Nancy Pelosi shops at Forever 61. Young at heart.
Forever 81. So there's entertainment news out there. Are you guys into Star Wars?
I'm into that noise going away. That's what I'm into. Go ahead.
Who's getting zapped? Are you? Star Wars is a movie franchise that Disney owns now, and
Yes, I'm familiar with it. There's a new movie out. Yes.
Yeah, but there's also a show on Disney Plus called The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but
it's
people
about
say it's
Boba
great.
Fett.
Yeah, I'm not going.
I guess. I don't know. He's the helmet guy.
The helmet guy. I'm not gonna. I don't have kids, so I'm not gonna pay for Disney Plus to watch one show. But I hear it's good.
Well, Peter Criss has Disney Plus, and we all share it. Not supposed to. Not supposed to, but who has time?
Yeah.
Who has time to sign up for all
I'm glad
these
he can
things?
still contribute to Kiss.
That's right. He does. And, we're hoping to get Kiss Meets the Phantom on there. But anyway, so they have this show about Boba Fett or whatever with the helmet, and he's flying around in his little spaceship. And in one of his adventures, he picks up this little baby that looks like Yoda.
Baby Yoda is. I haven't seen Mandalorian, but Baby Yoda is such a pop culture icon already that I know all about Baby Yoda, but I haven't seen the show.
Oh, he's so cute. He sips tea.
Okay.
And he uses the Force a little bit like a baby. He's a 50-year-old baby. Because those Yodas, they age slow.
So as a baby, does he do immature things with the Force and stuff?
Oh, yeah, he's adorable.
Okay, all right.
Well, he's
precocious.
50.
He's a baby for Yoda.
Yeah, he's a baby. He can't talk. I mean, God, you'd think by 50 he'd be able to speak.
I could.
Maybe he'd grow up on that swamp planet and no one taught him how to speak.
It's a possibility.
But anyway, so, the Boba Fett guy, whatever, he picks him up. And they're flying in space. But anyway, the thing that's really driving people crazy is Disney didn't have the thought to release this as a plushie toy for Christmas.
They don't have any toys.
They have a toy, but if you order it, you don't get it until March or May.
Well, that's not good.
No, it's stupid.
You know what? They didn't get. You know what they didn't do, Paul Stanley? They didn't get their ducks in a row.
They did not, or the Yodas.
Yeah, they didn't get their Yodas in a row.
Their baby Yodas in a row.
They need to.
They didn't get their Womp Rats in a row.
This is why I would think that the Disney, one of the reasons they bought the whole Star Wars franchise is because they understand how much money you can make not just on the movie, but on the figurines and the pillowcases.
Well, Disney's art
everything first,
merchandise second. You know that.
Yeah, it's all about art first.
Right.
Then they get to the merchandise. Now, somebody really screwed up on this. They didn't realize that this little character, it's a minor character, right? They didn't realize they would take off and everybody would want one.
So what happens when demand is far higher than supply? People make their own.
Right.
So people have been making their own little
Black market Baby Yodas.
Black market Baby Yodas on Etsy and eBay and all that stuff. What's that?
I said black market Baby Yoda Bam-a-lam. That's what I said.
Oh, I like that song. You gonna do a parody of it?
Black market Baby Yoda.
Bam-a-lam,
Black Yoda,
bam-a-lam,
Bam-a-lam, Black
bam-a-lam.
Yoda, Blam Blam. Flim Flam. So anyway, people are making their own, and now Disney's, of course, dropping the hammer on people.
Well, how do I know if I get one of these homemade Baby Yodas that it's not full of some kind of, I don't know, it could be like a wasp in there or something. There could be a nest of spiders that come out and eat my face off while I'm sleeping.
If you buy it from the U.S., you don't got nothing to worry
Weaponized
about.
wasps.
Yeah, I don't know. But couldn't there be some sort of lead paint or something? My kids could lick it and die?
Maybe, but in this case, at least you're cuddling with Yoda. But people are...
Have you cuddled with yoga?
I have.
Heat yoga?
Stretch yoga.
It's great
cuddle yoga.
It's great until the farting.
Well,
anyway, go ahead.
So some lady took a chimpanzee doll kit, stuck some ears on it. I guess she bought a Spock ears, and glued them on there and painted the chimpanzee green.
And now, let me guess, Disney is hammering her in court and taking her for everything that she's ever had.
But people just want to cuddle up with Baby Yoda.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Baby Yoda. I get confused.
Did you get a lot of sleep last night,
No,
Paul
I didn't get
Stanley?
very much at all. I was up all night with an upset tummy.
Oh, that's too bad. That happens on the road now.
Yes,
Well,
it
you're
does.
an aging rock musician.
Well, I had my gallbladder removed.
I know that. You used to be up all night for other things. Now you're up all night.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's still, everything's fine. Don't
Everything's
you
fine.
worry about that.
Do you know Dasher and Dancer?
I know all of them.
You know, you've met them all?
All of them. I've
You
ridden them
slept
all.
with them all. All right, Paul Stanley.
But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
Hanukkah is wonderful.
Oh, that's
lighting
me.
candles for days. Each night so important. Let me count the ways.
Eric Von Haessler singing last
The
year.
pagans, the heathens, introduced the solstice tree. But it's Christians with their traditions that resonate with me.
Because?
Because Christmas is my kind of Christmas.
All right, well, you'll be happy to know that was last year. And this year, English Nick sings this very wonderful classic Christmas song that I wrote last year, along with Chris Chandler, by the way, on piano.
Yeah.
That's the great newsman.
Chris Chandler's also involved in this year's special as well.
Absolutely, don't give it away. Are
I'm
you
not.
talking about the special that's going to air here tomorrow on
That's
this time
right.
period?
Perhaps he's playing the piano, perhaps he's not.
The Greg That Stole Christmas. You don't want to miss it. A big deal. All right, stop. I'm tired of hearing myself.
I like this song.
You like this song, Paul Stanley?
Can we cover it?
Glowing. An angel fits, atop it sits, twinkling bulbs are stretched on wire.
I really can't sing, but neither can Bob Hope, and he used to sing on his
raining,
Christmas.
we're
All right,
complaining.
all right.
It's simply
It's much
not
better.
ideal.
Turn this down.
But if it's snowing, we'll be going to the highest
All right, I'm just going to get out of this by saying,
hill, top to bottom.
Oh my, what a
I'm going to get out of this by saying, this song is not on tomorrow's
Christmas
show.
Is my kind of Christmas.
We heard the legend of Rush Limbaugh, Stearns, Beck, and Hannity to name them all. Well, there's a shock jock living in the South today, a man called Eric in Atlanta, GA. Well, every radio jockey knows his name. He swears he's got high voltage running through his veins. He's got a voice like silk, it's honey buns he craves, and he's coming out to you on some FM waves. Oh yeah, 95.5.
Very nice.
That was
Hey, it's very
awesome.
nice. That's a Christmas gift for me.
Yes.
Wow.
From one of the listeners, and I just want to point out, the other listeners could learn from that.
Yes.
Is it always the host gives to you? Well, you got to think about it every once in a while. If the host has given, and given for an entire year, might be the time to, I don't know, go out, drop a hundy on your favorite host, get him something that you might enjoy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
See, that's somebody who said, I'm going to give my favorite radio host a gift, a Christmas gift tonight.
He's got a voice like silk. It's honey buns he craves, and he's coming out to you on some FM waves. Oh, yeah, 95.5.
WSB's playing the fake news, talking about impeachment instead of the rally.
All right, we don't need you, sir. We'll have to call the White House with that one. He did refer to me as a shock jock in there, but I'm over it. It's okay. I get it. It's all right.
It was probably just for rhyming purposes.
I think of myself as a very serious pundit on the serious topics of the day.
Well, I mean, look at what you're wearing. It's very serious.
Yes, I'm wearing my my Christmas outfit. And I really want to point out, as we were going to commercial, Alan was trying to torture us all with me singing. Hey, don't take pictures of me. Not without my glasses on. I gotta have my glasses on.
Yeah, you gotta hide the old man eyes.
I don't like to have my picture taken if I don't have my glasses on, because I got the old man eyes.
Okay, now I will.
There
Okay,
you go.
keep doing the show.
I still have old man eyes, but you can't see them as well because I've
Don't it make my old eyes?
So Alan was trying to torture everybody with me singing. And I think it's important because we're trying to get people to want to listen to the Christmas special tomorrow. That song is not in there. I just want you to know that song, the song is in there, but it's awesome because it's sung by English Nick and his buddy and the PDO. That's the Parsons Drake Orchestra. What else do we have to do here? Look what it says here. You know what it says here? It says Campaign 2020 continues tonight. And for some reason, that one word is in all caps. Jared, did you write this out for me?
It's a combination promo.
It took 2 or 3 of you to write this.
Well,
Campaign.
Well, we studied it. Clive and I worked together and spelled it out.
Campaign 2020 continues tonight.
Woo!
With the next Democrat debate. Some people get mad. The left gets mad if you say Democrat debate rather than Democratic. People used to always say Democratic, and I think Democrat's the right way. But
In
now
the Democrat Party.
Yeah, but if you...
Yeah, but it's a descriptor.
Yeah, that's right. So in reality, but now if you just say Democrat, then debate, then people get mad at you. But you know what? If you say anything about politics, somebody's going to get mad at you, so it really doesn't matter. Campaign 2020 continues tonight.
Woo!
With the next Democratic debate. We will have the debate tonight at 8 p.m., plus all the coverage before and after. And I don't know. I heard that... that maybe there might be a couple questions about impeachment. Don't put money on it. But you know what? Here's the one question I would like to Wall Street Journal said, because one of the reasons I'm not even really caring much about this impeachment is no one's paying attention to what went on. The most important thing that in 100 years about this last couple of weeks that historians are going to be talking about in America is going to be this IG report and the FBI. And what's not being reported, I've already given it to you in exhaustive detail why it's the most important thing that's going on right now. But yesterday, another thing that can't be reported because of all of this, the blowtorch of impeachment, the FISA court, the main judge from the FISA court, issued a public letter and a rebuke of the FBI and basically saying, you've been lying to us for too long. And also, now that we know what you did in the Carter Page FISA warrant, how can we be sure as a court that everything that we've given you in the past, the warrants, how do we know that they are legitimate? How do we know that you didn't lie to us? And basically said, this has to be reformed, and the FBI has to come up with a plan and show us how they're going to change based on. Because again, and very quickly, while you're going up and down and left and right about impeachment, that we all know how this is going to work out. Remember this in the Inspector General report, that all the news people told you, the only important thing is they said there was no political bias. That was not the only important thing. Matter of fact, the only reason he said it was because he wanted to point out that there should have been, the bar is so low that they didn't break protocol and something needs to be done. But the most important thing in there, and I will say this, it doesn't take this much. I ask you, if you were on the left, one of my artsy friends, any of you, if I just took the name out, Carter Page, if you know who that is, you probably don't like him if you're an artist because you don't like Trump and he was part of the Trump campaign. So let's say I didn't tell you his name and I just said Mr. X, United States citizen, and that an FBI, somebody at the FBI at one point altered a document so that they could fool a judge on a secret court to be able to spy on an American citizen. Boy, you're spending a lot of time looking for smoking guns and trying to convince other people there are smoking guns in these articles of impeachment. What I just told you sounds a whole hell of a lot like a smoking gun to me. The FBI lied knowingly to a secret court to continue to spy on an American citizen. And if you're on the left and you say, I don't care because he was a Trumper, then you know nothing about social justice. There's no such thing as social justice until you stand up and are ready to fight and die for those who disagree with you, because it's justice that matters to you. Justice for all. That's the big story. You don't know it. They're not reporting it, but I guarantee, and I can do this because I won't be here, I'll be dead, 100 years from now, when historians are talking about this last couple of weeks, the important thing is going to be the reforms that will be made in the next couple of years based on what we found out about the FISA secret courts and how the FBI lies to these judges. That's a much bigger story. A much bigger story, much more important. And again, if you're on the left and you don't care because the guy they spied on was a Trumper, shame on you. Let's do this. Are we doing anything? I don't even know what we're doing.
Well, you know, we still have to.
We have to go to a commercial now. I think it's 11:45.
But also, Tim Andrews has something that he's putting out this holiday
Tim Andrews
season.
would like to. He wants to pitch his bits.
If you're looking for a last,
pitch your bits, Tim.
Okay, I'll pitch my bits. Kiss my grits.
That's right.
Looking for a last-minute fun gift for your friends and family? For just $25, you can get Tim Andrews to record you a custom video greeting.
There you go.
That could be me. It could be Sean Hannity. It could be President Trump. It could be any of his voices. It could be, just Tim. I don't know why you'd want that.
Why would I spend money just to have Tim say a greeting?
Very cheap, very affordable. Just go to Tim Andrews' Facebook fan page, facebook.com/Tim Andrews ATL.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. I stepped on Veronica. I want to A-B him.
Yep.
I was talking to Alan. I want to A-B him. You know what that means? I want to A-B him.
Yeah, you want to take it from A to B.
No, I want to compare them. A-B. I want to compare them. So because it was interesting to me, just being so far away from last year's Christmas special, somehow I convinced myself that I sounded okay singing that song. Now I hear it and I'm like, whoa, wow.
When it's from your headphones right into your brain.
Boy.
It's like looking really close up at a Monet. You don't want to do that.
I also don't think that's the mastered copy. So the voice sounds a little different on that one.
We auto-tuned it a little bit.
Yeah,
it's a little more Travis Scott.
I remember tinkering with it a little bit more.
You sound better as a singer than I do, though. I can tell you that. I liked it.
Nobody's worse as a singer. The only person I've ever met in my life who sings worse than me is Jared Yamamoto.
And that is not true.
Neither of us can carry it.
You get a couple drinks in me and I sing one warm-up song, I am much better.
What song?
Takes me a minute. It has to be something monotone, like some Green Day or Weezer or something like that. I can
anybody can sing that, the Ramones or something like that. Yeah.
Yellow Card can do that any day.
So I want to assure people. So let's hear. So I wrote this song, and there's no doubting that it's a great Christmas song. It's the best Christmas song that's been written in the last
really
30 years.
Christmas
It really is. But I can't sing. But I sang it last year, and every year now we're going to have different versions of this song. So this year it's English Nick and his buddy, the PDO, the Parsons Drake Orchestra. Now let's hear me first. All right.
Christmas is my kind of Christmas.
All right. Now, this year's version from PDO.
Christmas is my kind of Christmas.
Amazing.
Toys.
There you go. And then next year I want a big choir, or either a children's choir or something like that. Every year we'll have a different version of this great song until somebody in America realizes, hey, somebody came along and wrote another classic Christmas song. I need to get my respect.
Then it'll be on every AC station in the country, and you'll be getting all those royalties.
Yeah. Me and Alanis Morissette.
Christmas is my kind of Christmas.
No, that's not going to happen. I am not.
Wow.
I am completely as far as I can. Yeah, we don't. I'm like this.
Children drop their
I sound like an aging drunk lady who walked into just singing along to the band.
Yeah, jingle bells, jingle bells, yeah!
All right, happy hour's over. All
I
right,
wish I could
ladies.
sing. This is one of my. I'm not. Look, I know I'm not the greatest looking guy in the world. I'm cool with that because sparkling personality, intelligence, just off the charts. So I can handle that. But the one thing I wish I had, I wish I could sing. If I could sing, I don't care. I would have started a band when I was 17 years old, and I don't care if we were still playing the first bar we ever played when I was 17. I would still be in that band if I could sing. If only. Maybe in the next life. Maybe.
You can take lessons.
Oh, then no, I can't take lessons. People who have a decent voice and want to get better can take lessons. I can't take lessons. Or I could have just been into punk, but I wasn't a punker. If you're a punker, you don't really have to know how to sing.
You ain't no punk.
I ain't no punk. I didn't like the crowd. When I was a kid, I didn't like the punks.
You don't want to get beat up.
Well, I wasn't, my whole thing started listening to the Beatles when I was 10, and everything grows out of that. I was never, I had angst as a teenager, and I was mopey, but I just wasn't violent. I never had a violent streak. I never understood. And I went and hung out with some punk rockers one night, and everybody got all drunk, and then the guys just started punching me in the chest for no good reason. I was like, what? I don't, you know what? I don't consider this fun. I have to say, I like hanging out with the Beatles guys with the blacklight posters.
I think you need to hop into the Atlanta trap scene while you have a chance here, because you could easily auto-tune your voice to make it work.
And I'm sure they'd love to have a 55-year-old such as myself join into the Atlanta trap parties.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't be the creepy guy in the corner.
You need a goofy white guy here.
and with the gals, I'll just be at the door calling, "Hey, it's Grandpa Ecstasy. If anybody wants to have some fun, it's Grandpa Ecstasy." As far as the eye can see. All right, what do you got for me?
All right, Lori Loughlin's daughter, Olivia Jade, shared her first tutorial video since the big Varsity Blues scandal.
Right, Lori Loughlin's the Fuller House lady, and this is the daughter who's a YouTube influencer. She's the one of the two girls that got into the school under false pretenses. She's a YouTube influencer, and she's taken a bunch of time off, and so she's come back, finally.
Thank goodness.
If she's come back to YouTube, Eric Von Haessler has come back to YouTube because my life without Olivia Jade's influence.
Here's one of her videos before
has been nothing at all.
Here's one of her videos before the scandal.
I'll be in New York a bunch this year for work and traveling to a different country because I'm creating something with this country, and that's for work. So I don't know how much of school I'm going to attend, but I'm going to go in and talk to my deans and everyone and hope that I can try and balance it all. But I do want the experience of game days, partying. I don't really care about school.
Don't really care about school. Yeah, my mom's going to go to jail for 50 years to get me here, but I don't really care about school.
It wasn't my choice, though.
Yeah. So,
and now she's back.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I thought it would be kind of a cute and fun video to do an everyday get ready with me.
Yeah.
And then she said
every day get ready with me?
It's a get ready with me video. They're really popular on YouTube.
I feel like I haven't done, I know I've been gone for a while, but I feel like I haven't done a sit down tutorial in so long.
Yeah.
Is this boring?
I've got an idea.
Yes.
I've got an idea for a new Marvel superhero series. The Vacuous Influencers.
Hey guys. Hey bad guys.
Hey bad guys.
So today I just want to do this YouTube tutorial on how to get the perfect cat eye eyeliner.
What is the tutorial that she gives? How to
it's
be
just
born
to get ready with me.
Really rich and hot?
Yeah.
If I watch enough tutorials, will I be rich and hot and young?
Totally.
Young, rich, and hot. This is how you do it, kids. Fall out of the right person. That's all I can tell you. In the right place at the right time. All right, we are done. Actually, tomorrow's the Christmas show. We're going to go off and enjoy Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody. We're not completely done. Go do the Podcast 30. If you want to join us there, go to the Von Haessler Doctrine Facebook page or the WSB Radio Facebook page. Click on the red box. Join us for the Podcast 30. I love you. You're fantastic. It's been our greatest year, and that's because of you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Listen to that Christmas special tomorrow morning. Thanks for listening to the Von Haessler Doctrine podcast. Remember, you can hear the show every weekday from 9 to noon right here on 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk. All right. Bring it up slowly. Get to the top and peak. Podcast 30 starts right now. My eyes are dilated. Everything on Andrew's body is dilated.
Oh, so loose.
English Dick is here. He's a straight edge kid. J-Rad rocking the tunes.
A little fool showdown here.
He also provides the amyl nitrate for anyone who didn't bring some with him.
Yeah.
And there's Autumn Fisher, and she's playing the mouth organ.
What's new?
Yeah.
Well,
She's got a reputation, I tell you.
I ain't got a reputation. Gonna drink it all.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I mean, it's very difficult not to phone this last 30 minutes in, I have to tell you.
Let's do it.
Let's
Those are
just-
usually the most fun.
Actually, let's just get on the phone and really phone it in.
Okay.
All right. Should we all get on each other? Like we should conference call each other?
Yeah. And every time you guys break in, you have to say, hey, Eric, long time, first time.
Hey, Eric, long time, first time.
Hey, Autumn.
What's the Christmas song do you keep listening to this season? I'll take my answer off air. Who is it?
Hello? Is that my reminder?
Doug.
No, that's the person calling in.
Oh, that's not calling in on the air. You don't hear people calling in on the air. You don't hear the phone ringing.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Could
you imagine a talk show had it?
Oh, we're going to do it.
What?
In
What?
2020, we're going to do it. We're going to have segments where we take calls, but
And
we
you
have
hear the
to.
call.
It has to be like I'm talking and the phone just rings.
Yeah.
Like, hold on a second. I just pick it up. Yeah.
Hello?
It should be. Listen, you should have all kinds of different phones. So like
Yeah.
that's one. You should have like an old
I
timey
got a
one.
landline behind
Yeah.
me. Hold on
Ring,
here.
ring.
Hold on. Hey. I got a payphone.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Hey, hold on just a second. I'll get back to that. Hold on, boy.
No, only
I
one at
tell
a
you-
time,
oh,
man.
boy,
The
I
phones
can't
are
have
really-
boy. I tell you what, the phone lines are jammed.
That's the thing. You need to be able to, once you take a caller,
Yeah.
you need to be able to hear the
Stop
next
the
caller
other-
just dial it. Sorry, gotta go.
Gotta
Somebody
go.
else. Gotta take the other line.
Like you're calling England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're worldwide. Oh my. Okay, hold on. Wait, people.
It's
One call at a time.
here's
All
what you
right.
do. Here's what you open that segment with. It's a man answering, and it's Eric Von Haessler.
Doesn't seem to be anybody
Yeah,
there.
it's a man answering.
Yeah.
Why did he hang up?
Hello.
Maybe there's somebody there besides your wife. What
Yeah, it's
operator would
everyone.
say that?
Oh, Pink Floyd. Oh man.
What is that? How's that song go? That's the one where he's like really.
He's floating in the pool, isn't he, after that?
Yeah, he goes down. No, that's the one that has the drums. It's like.
Yep.
What
is that one?
shall we use to fill the spaces where we used to talk? How should I?
What a Christmas gift.
I think that's where it fill the final.
Yeah,
place.
we're not
You
going
guys need to
to.
record that.
How could I complete the war? I am just a newborn.
Yeah.
Thank you. In the movie, that girl, she
We have a lot of guitars.
she does that thing with the security guard so she can get through the thing. He's the same security guard who comes in the end. And opens the-
Ooh, I need a na-na-na-na-na.
I need a dirty woman.
I need
I need a dirty.
I don't know what
gal.
I say. I need to marry a woman.
No,
Sometimes I
it's,
say that.
It's ooh.
I need to marry a gal.
It's called dirty woman.
It is
It's-
called that.
that's-
Yeah, it is
I need
dirty.
a dirty woman.
No, it's dirty.
I need a dirty woman.
Ooh, I need a dirty girl.
Very
I need a
popular on the
dirty
airwaves.
woman.
Remember.
I need to marry her now.
I need to put a ring on a girl's finger.
I need to meet her parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I want to respect her wishes.
Ooh, I need to respect her wishes. It's. I wonder how that's going with rock and roll artists. Is the groupie scene gotten cold? Because
No,
I
don't believe so.
But you got to be thinking that
Never.
anything could come back and.
It could.
I know Autumn is hoping not because she's going to go back into that scene very soon.
Yeah, once the kids are
once
grown
both kids are
in a
5.
year or two.
Yeah. Once
they're in kindergarten.
Once, I mean, I've raised my kids.
Yeah,
They're
that's
almost
right.
Pete's
Yeah.
almost 3.
Yeah, time to go back on the road. Time to get back on the road.
Look, when they're 6 years old, you can all go to a concert together. Mum can go backstage.
That's
Kids
right.
can enjoy the show.
That's right. I'll just put those big earmuff,
There was
And later on, when the
headphones on
kids say that, wow, they were really good tonight, you say, wow, they got a little something extra special before they went out there.
I think there's still.
That's my job. That's my job.
Yeah, it's your job.
There's always going to be ladies or gentlemen who seek that out from their favorite artists. You know what I'm saying? But there have been
Rock
a couple
and roll
of,
fluffers.
I remember a couple of years ago there was a story of a British band, like an indie band. They weren't huge.
Yeah.
Somebody who had been backstage with them somewhere on a recent tour came out and said that one of the band members like roughed her up or whatever. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
that's what I'm
saying?
saying is these
there's
days.
a gray area there.
I think these days, as an actual rock and roll musician, now, you know, if you're 24, you're 24 and it doesn't matter. You're just dumb as can be. But I think, bye-bye, Alan. Merry Christmas.
Bye, Alan.
Yeah, thank you, Alan.
Give me a machine gun for Christmas.
I think you would have to worry about, even if it is consenting in the moment.
Yeah.
You know, the way that it is now, you get back home, you were on tour for a while, right? And then, you know, the band chewed you up, spit you out. They don't even know who you are anymore, right? Back in the old days, you either thought it was great and you have a memory, or you learned your lesson or whatever. And these days, you'd be telling your friends, like, well, you know what? That's not right. And then something could come back to haunt you and really hurt your career. I think the Me Too movement has to have at least dampened. Maybe that's the wrong word to use for groupies. Maybe iced out a little bit of the groupie scene. I would think. But then again, I don't know. I'm not
You
a
think
rock and roll
female rock singers have male groupies?
Absolutely.
Do they?
Yes.
They got
Absolutely.
guys who go around acting like that?
I think sometimes they have
Well,
guys,
I mean, they have stalkers. I mean,
stalkers are
I'm
not
not
people you
talking
want to
about
sleep
different.
with.
No.
You never want to sleep with stalkers.
It's different. I think there's some girl bands who definitely would exploit that from time
Yeah.
to time if they
If you
wanted to.
think
But
about,
it's not the same mentality.
What about Lady Kiss, Paul? Do they have...
Yes, they do, but they're all in their 50s, so they need to have Viagra or Blue Chew.
It is funny to think about like what the male musician might ask of a groupie, like what they might be doing, what the groupie might be doing, versus the female musician asking the guy to do that.
Yeah. Hey, can you zip me up? Can you zip up the back of my outfit?
The pantsuit.
Do I look fat?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're there. That's your group.
There's a spider in my dressing room.
You're just there to tell her that those leather pants don't make her ass look big.
Oh no, you look great, honey.
Thanks.
Will you wait here until the show's over? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Yeah, I just want to bitch about
Yeah.
something that went wrong on the stage.
Oh my
and I
God,
want
the
you to be
guitar pedal. I knew we
understanding.
should have gotten a new one.
Yeah,
Glenda
you're
was
right.
missing a lot.
I
on the-
heard that.
Oh my God, she was terrible on the
heard
drums
that.
tonight.
I told her
that.
not to whip her hair
Yeah.
during that set.
And then she
just won't
did.
Let me tell you.
Won't stop.
Let me tell you, there's plenty of all male bands who have exact same
Oh, no.
conversations
Oh,
after the
especially
show.
with the whipping of the
Even
hair.
Right, but they're
worse.
not looking. But they're not looking for the groupie to provide the ear for that.
they're going to the groupie to provide, but just
Yeah.
an escape
No, you don't got to say nothing.
from all these
Just
jerks.
listen. I just need someone to listen.
All these jerks that you have to tour with all over the world, make millions of dollars. It's a tough life, man. It's a tough life. I mean, look at the Who. They've hated each other for 50 years.
Who?
Apparently.
I saw you see that story about because the new album dropped on December 6th.
I heard one song. It was pretty good.
It's a pretty. I like it.
I
too.
don't know about the album.
It's
I
not
heard one
bad.
song,
There's a
yeah.
couple good songs on there. So when it got released, there was some extra tracks that they released with it digitally, I guess.
Yeah.
And Roger
Digitally?
digitally. So digitally, like Apple Music and whatever, there's extra tracks. And Roger was like, "Look, it's an awesome album. You don't need to get extra tracks out there because it's already awesome."
No,
So he's
you-
mad at it.
Yeah, you know
He's
what?
mad at it.
I can understand that because I know sometimes if I have an album from 30 years ago that I think's great, and then I'll tell somebody you should listen to this album, and then I realize they go to Spotify or something,
revamped.
and you don't know where the album ends. Like you fell in love with
Yeah.
the album because it was a song arc, and
Yeah.
it ends at a certain point, and then with all these new releases, there's 10 more demos and alternate takes, and
That's
and
how
then,
I felt. That's how I felt about Rubber Soul and Revolver.
Yeah.
When you listen to the British version versus the one in
American.
the United States, it's different. They have different songs.
I
on
know,
there.
but theirs is the correct one.
I know, but I
you were
still-
I know. I'm the same
Yeah.
way with Rubber Soul. Rubber Soul has "Girl" as the second song in America, and I love that song. And in England, it's not on that album. It's on "Help," I think. And it just totally
Weird.
screwed me up because
When
to me, and somebody always told me that I don't know who's sniffing in that, but I can't say it. It's a family show. But I knew a guy who told me that it was Ringo sniffing somebody's. Anyway,
No, it's not sniffing.
I know, but it sounds.
It's John doing it, going.
It's doing. He's going.
Oh, go ho.
That's hot.
My buddy was joking. He said it was Ringo sniffing somebody's.
But it has to be based on
Under
a real
things.
thing, which was there was no sniffing.
So it was Ringo sniffing John Lennon's underwear.
When Abbey Road,
that would be good.
When Abbey Road was released this year,
John.
obviously you can get all the songs, all the expanded stuff on Apple Music, right? Or whatever.
Yeah,
you
it's
listen
all
to.
there.
But when I actually went to the store to buy I wanted to get it on vinyl. I just bought the newly remastered album as it was. Like,
you know what I want?
Tracks.
You know what I want?
That's what I wanted,
the
you know?
5.1 mix that I can put in my DVD player in my
in your mansion
in
thing.
my
basement
man cave.
Cave.
I hate that.
I don't like that.
What's
either.
wrong with man cave? Man cave sounds like a man's.
Yeah. It's very
It's what?
homoerotic. Do
It's
you find
also-
it homoerotic?
Call it your
Hey,
bunker.
I want to go. Hey, meet me in my man cave.
That's right, and only men are allowed in here.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you're relegated to one room, and the rest of the house is for the women,
Yeah, I don't like
the
that.
wife.
I don't like that.
and-
No, I
That's stupid too. It's both of your houses.
you get in the cave.
I think a lot of guys want to keep some of their sports memorabilia
Yeah.
or concert posters, and
Yeah.
that's where they belong because you don't want them in the adult
Why
section.
can't it be
I
within
have my. It's not a man cave. It's just we have a room. that
Eric's
we turned,
bunker.
We turned into a theater. It's actually where this podcast started. We changed it around. It's also the place that the movie was edited. This thing has had many lives. It started as a little theater, then it turned into a movie. No, and then it turned into a movie editing studio. Then it turned into the podcast studio, and then I turned it back into a movie theater. But the 5.1 sound is really good. There's some places online where you can get big albums.
Yeah.
It's streamed, but it's 5.1, and I love the way it sounds. And so there has to be some degradation just in the stream. So I'd be interested in getting these discs that they have that are inside of these new Beatles things that have 5.1 renderings. I'd like to listen to that.
What kind of sound system you got going on in that bunker?
It's not that great, but it's 5.1. It's
Yeah.
surround. It's
Yeah.
it's Bose or whatever. I don't know.
I like the Bose.
All I know is you can hear the crowd over here in their left and different things and
All parts
stuff
of the cave can be
moves
heard.
around. It's not a cave.
This guy, he loves it.
Cave is where animals sleep.
Yeah.
And
We're animals. We're humans.
Well, my man cave. A few animals.
Also, let's not remember, many terrible things happened to cave women in caves back in the day.
Yeah,
That's
for
true.
them.
That's
Beat 'em
why
over
she's
the
not-
head,
that's
drag
why
'em
she's
in there
not
by the
allowed
hair.
in my cave.
Yeah.
Hey, that Who album, that single is called All This Music Will Fade.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And it sounds like a 70s Who song to me. It's
Well,
good.
one of the songs was a song they wrote way back in the beginning, and they
No,
re-recorded
they're good.
it.
You know, it's funny about these kind of bands. This is the difference with like the Van Morrison album. It's so relaxed and cool and sure of itself. Whereas sometimes a lot of this stuff, you can kind of feel the Who trying to be the Who.
Reaching to be
I
young
think,
again.
you know,
Yeah.
and so that's what I would wonder about the album. Because, you know, when you think about when the Who was the Who, they were doing, you know, all those mega songs, and then they would come out with like Squeeze Box or something, which was like totally against type and different, and because they were just they just knew how good they were. It was effortless. It's like REM had those few albums where it just didn't matter if those guys walked into a room and turned on mics, magic was going to happen, and you had to capture it. And then in the later ones, they did some really good stuff, but I guess that's when a band maybe that's when you ought to think about. Now, Steven Van Zandt says if you're in a great band, you should stay in it until the day you die. That bands should not break up. That if you're lucky enough to be in a great band, there's nothing that you're doing in your life that's so important that you should ever leave that band. And I think I really kind of believe that because look at the Stones. They don't make great records anymore, but you know, they're great live. Springsteen doesn't make great records anymore, but if he's got the full band with him, I'm interested in seeing him live. I'm not interested in him and, you know, if he's going to walk out there and, you know, give me a lecture about turning off my cell phone before he starts singing. I'm not interested in that. But if he brings a band where you won't even notice if cell phones are going off.
Dylan's the cell phone hater, and Dylan's the one who has to go at people.
It's annoying. I'm sure if you're up there and you're getting into a song, I mean, it's annoying.
But
It's annoying.
It's also the age we live in.
But I mean, people should know better.
It's not annoying.
No, not that. It's not the Lite. It's the fact that you're in the middle of some kind of song that
And they're
means
not
something.
focused on you.
No, it's not that. It's then they go off.
Yeah.
And you hear
Well,
that. Oh, you know, and then
yeah,
you're like,
that is
oh,
annoying.
Okay, that's something that wasn't part of this
that can ruin the experience around you. Like, I mean, if you're just enjoying a show and then somebody's phone goes off and they have to like squeeze by you, you're like, oh, come on.
My phone's always off because I'm on the air all the time, and that's why I miss so many calls. But I check my phone.
Vibrate. It doesn't make noise.
In my experience, if you go,
and you can be in public and have a little pocket phone.
Sure.
There's a couple things going on, right? If you go to most of the shows I go to are too loud to even worry about cell phones going off. You wouldn't know.
Yeah, you're still in there.
But if you're at Eddie's Attic or places like that, or maybe even Smith's where it's a quieter environment with an acoustic act, most people are respective and do at least put their phones
What
to
about
vibrate.
do you know I was at a funeral once.
A funeral?
A funeral. Very close funeral, meaning somebody very close to me. And so it meant a lot. And I had a phone. This was before smartphones. So I had a Razor. I had a Razor. And I had it to where it would buzz a moment before it rang. And you could open it and close it real fast. It wasn't the Razor. It was that little egg phone I had at the end. Remember that little weird thing? It was a cool little phone.
Silver?
Yeah, that little silver thing. And so I could open it and close it real fast and get rid of the ring.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I'm at a funeral. People are speaking, and I feel on my leg. I was so panicked. I got my hand in there, opened it, closed it before it rang. But that was when I had "Rock the Casbah" as my. Can you imagine as you're in the middle of a funeral?
Rock the Casbah.
Except it was digitally. It was digitally. It wasn't the actual.
Digitally.
And so it would go.
Xfinity.
Like the MIDI version of it?
Yeah, it was the MIDI version of Rock the Casbah. Because at the time, I thought it would be funny that the Clash would be in a MIDI form of some sort of.
We thought it would be fun.
A commercial thing because they were such anti-capitalists. For some reason, I thought it would be funny to have the Clash be my phone.
Yeah.
You know, my ringtone for our old work partner used to be the beginning of Back in Black. When you could we could still do individual, but it was fun. It was for 2 years it was that. And
now was it MIDI or was it the actual song?
No, it was the actual song.
Okay,
I bought
so
it.
Yeah.
And finally I can't listen to this damn song.
Did you at some point change it to "If You Want Blood, You Got It"?
No.
I love that AC/DC.
I got a smartphone.
That's one of my favorite AC/DC
If You Want
songs.
Blood, You Got It off of Live.
It's off of
blood,
no, that's a live.
you
No,
got
it's
it.
off of one of the other ones, but they have a live album called.
Yes.
Is it Got Live If You Got It?
Yeah.
Or is it called If You Want Blood?
So
You
it's
Got
on
It?
Highway to Hell, I believe.
No, I don't think so. Is
Hang
it?
All the blood
Hang
you
on.
need.
But there is a live album. There is a live
Livewire.
album. Hang on.
Huh? What?
Livewire, maybe.
No.
But I think they have a live album called If You Want Blood, You Got It,
Yes,
though, right?
maybe.
And that's
But
the one where the guitar is being, it's like Angus is being stabbed with the guitar and there's blood all over him.
That's right.
But a whole lot of Rosie is on that.
You are correct, sir. There is a if you want blood, you got it. That's the one with the guitar in his belly.
That's the one I know. It's the live one.
I could have sworn there was.
I can't remember which record it's on. It's before Highway
is it
to
on
Hell.
Power Age?
I like that album that he made before he was an AC/DC, Bon Scott, where he's.
Oh, I still never listened to
Welfare
that. You sent that to me, and I've never.
Well, I made you a CD, didn't I?
Yeah, and I completely
No, never
ignored it.
listened to it. Interesting.
Completely ignored it. Well, you know what? I ignore everything, so no one can take that as if it's personal, right?
I don't.
Yeah, but it still ends up being personal to each person individually.
Well, into every life a little rain must fall.
All right,
That's
so
not a good argument.
Here's what happened. If You Want Blood came out in '78, the live one.
Yeah.
Highway to Hell in '79, the studio version's on there.
Really?
Yep.
I don't remember that
And
being on Highway to
Touch Too Much is on Highway
Touch
to Hell.
Too Much.
My Lord. It was one of those nights when you turned out the lights and everything came into view.
She was taking her time. I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
There was nothing that she wouldn't do.
She wanted it high.
Would a whole lot of Rosie trigger
Touch too
people now?
much. What?
Would a whole lot of Rosie
Because it's about a big girl?
Yeah, I don't
weighing in
know.
at 19 stone?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Those are my top 3 AC/DC songs right there.
I don't care what these auto-tuned zombies think about music. Let me tell you. If you're 23 and you've got an opinion about music, I'm probably not interested.
Yeah.
Auto-tune zombies.
Yeah, it's just
I like that.
There's a lot of
the auto-tune. These kids don't know that they should be offended. That's the thing that gets me. It's if somebody uses auto-tune and it's a cool thing and it's different, but now you get to the 9,000th person and they're all doing it and nobody knows but Travis Scott's voice. It could be as bad as mine, for God's sakes. Nobody knows what he sounds like.
Yeah, but
he fills out stadiums, sells them out, and comes out there and sings through a computer.
But he was spotted co-parenting with Kylie. mean, don't you feel for him? Like that's a good thing.
Such a good guy.
He's a good
Why
guy.
is that a headline? I saw that in the aggregator.
Wow.
Two parents are trying to work it. Who cares?
It was a Paul Stanley.
I'm so happy that he's working with me. And,
Do you think when he talks to his kids, he's like,
I gotta go to bed.
this is your dad. You better do your homework. I don't know how that's taken seriously. And then I realized that, I'm completely out of touch, and there's nothing wrong with that because I don't understand.
You're out of time.
I'm out of touch. I'm out of time. And I don't know the rest of the
You're
words.
out of your head when you're not around.
I love Hall & Oates. I know that.
Out of touch.
But I don't get why somebody 24 can't wait to hear the next auto-tuned vocal. Because you hear
hype,
something, but when you hear something, like I would hear something, we'd hear something cool, but then you didn't want to hear 4 other bands do the same thing over and over again. It's a very
That's what I like.
dumb generation.
It gets offensive to my ears to hear it more. I mean, a nostalgic, or not nostalgic, but a novelty thing's one thing. Like you said, T-Pain. He's on the whatever. But it's just not natural. It's not. Yeah. It's just. Ugh.
How do I know that Travis Scott can sing it all? I mean, I have no
but
idea.
I guess it's
Maybe
not really
he can.
important.
No,
in
it's
this
not.
Right, all he's saying
genre,
is
I'm not saying it doesn't hold merit, but I'm saying in this genre, maybe it doesn't matter. It's not
fine.
about his voice. It's about the auto-tune
Yeah,
sound.
the people that he surrounded himself with obviously know how to
I'm talking
produce
about the
something
audience.
that's catchy.
I'm talking about the audience.
Right, the audience enjoys the sound of the music, and it doesn't matter whether.
Well, they might as well
person
stay home and listen to the record. He just comes out and plays the record for
his
you.
His shows are pretty intense.
Because
with all
he's
this
in a roller coaster and he's got all kinds of lighting effects and all that. But that's not the music. The music should be what
You would think the music would be the
Is there
driver,
any-
but he's more of a performer.
It's amazing to me that African American musicians are becoming tinny in their music. You know, like we're losing the bottom end, losing the percussion, losing the bass and the drums. To me, that's like what the white guy stole from black musicians, right?
Right.
Was the swing and the percussion and all that.
So you're saying they should stay in their place.
No, I'm saying that better music.
That's what I heard.
I'm saying the white man stole that because it was the better music.
Oh, the white man stole it. And
that's
you
what
speak for all white men?
I do speak for all white
White
men.
man came
Didn't you
across
hear-
the sea. He
Didn't
brought
you-
us pain.
Didn't you see that I was elected president of the white man? Yeah, I speak for all white men.
Why?
It's only,
He's a good-
it's only a
Who
one-year
voted you
term.
in, Trump?
It's a good day to step up because
He's
obviously
getting
not-
out of he's being kicked out any day now. So.
No, he's not getting kicked out.
He's already out.
He's getting
isn't he?
impeached.
No, he's not out.
Okay.
But they said that they impeached him.
Yeah, you don't understand how the Constitution works.
Well, it
or
says
the
that
world.
you were. Yeah,
What do you mean? Who cares about the Constitution? I'm saying he was impeached. They voted for him to go.
I think this girl agrees with you.
I'm really happy that the Democrats decided to make a statement and impeach Trump and not let him get away with all the things he's been doing. I think there's a danger of people being desensitized and the norm shifting, the moral ground shifting to things that are really unacceptable.
Things are unacceptable.
You know, we should normalize is using impeachment as a frivolous political tool. That should be normalized.
Whatever. I'm saying that it's just like there's just so many things going on and like what.
Hello,
he's
everybody.
done.
There's lots of people out there. I don't know who they are, but it's because it's
Who
Christmas
cares?
time.
Oh, that was Tim.
This is an audio media.
No, it's Tim. I know. Who's this coming at me?
I
Someone's
saw a
coming at
couple
me.
of new suits walking around
Amy
today.
Klobuchar.
Is it Amy Klobuchar?
I saw a couple of new
Present.
suits walking around.
Wait. What's the
Hello.
Hi there.
Do I know you?
You guys don't know me. I'm Sherry Preston from ABC News.
Oh, hello.
So
hi.
I'm here. I just want to say hi to you all.
Hello.
You
Well,
sound great.
well, thank
so we're
you.
here to honor our buddy Pete Combs.
Oh, well, great.
I
Well, it's
know.
awesome to have you here then.
Well, thank you. I was been walking around. I brought the donuts.
Oh, I had a donut.
So, did you?
Do you know
Okay.
something?
Me too. It was
Do you know
great.
something? That was the first donut I've had since June.
Well, I feel
Because I've-
bad and good
No,
about that.
no,
at
it's
the same
fine.
time.
Nobody brings us donuts anymore.
I've lost 30
Yes.
pounds.
You don't
And
bring
that was
me
the first
donuts.
donut. I thought, well, it's my last day before Christmas break. I can enjoy a donut, so thank you for that.
Well,
I appreciate
sound
it.
good. You guys sound great. And
Well,
take
thank
care.
you. I
Here's to
appreciate
Pete.
it.
Okay.
And here's to Pete.
Here's to Pete.
Cheers.
Pete
Pete.
Combs. Yay.
Pete Combs.
Okay.
Cheers.
Bye,
We
guys.
appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Yep.
I knew when I was out there because it's funny when you're in the newsroom. Sometimes you'll see people you don't know, but they're sitting at important stations.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, well, I don't know her, but she's sitting where Judd sits, so
Yeah,
she's not,
she was having
a straggler.
an in-depth conversation with Sabrina. So
Yes.
you knew
Judd, as soon as she walked in, Judd had to get up. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
it was
somebody
that
let me
serious.
get out of here. News.
Let me get out of here. Okay.
Get ABC News in here. It's a big deal.
That's awesome that they came here to honor Pete Holmes.
Yeah, I believe it's there's a service today, isn't there?
The visitation is today, yes.
Yeah.
It's so again, you know, it's weird. Like in Christmas time, it just seems like death comes at the same time. I don't because I'm older.
Yeah.
You know, obviously when I was 10, it wasn't something I dealt with,
No.
but it really is. It's Christmas becomes bittersweet as you get older because every Christmas there's a little bit less of what you know, even if it's not people you know personally, but maybe it's an actor that you followed for years or whatever, and you realize, man, oh man, it really is just a conveyor belt that I'm on. That I will fall off of.
The thing for me about
eventually.
Pete was such he was a stature-wise, he was a big guy. You know what I'm saying? A very powerful guy and a powerful voice.
But
and
a
so
teddy
to think
bear.
that I mean, he just kills me. You know? It's like,
I didn't even know. I didn't realize until the obituaries that he was 60. If you would have asked me, I would have said, he's about 47 or 48.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have said 60.
I remember when we had him on the air, he was covering that hurricane that hit the Gulf Coast. I want to say it was not this summer, but the previous summer. It's either I think it was Michael that hit the
the one that ended up messing with Georgia.
And I remember him we kept losing his connection, but he stayed there. It's basically like a really strong Category 4 storm hitting there.
Even if you lost the connection, Pete Combs' voice was so professional, it just cut right
there. He would right
there.
It went straight to that satellite and back down to the board.
There was a moment where he couldn't hear us responding back to him, but I mean, he was such a pro. He would just keep going. He would just tell you everything that's going on, lay it out, and he could go for minutes and minutes.
I have so many friends as I get older that have just, January 1st of this year, a person who'd been my friend since I was 8 years old, who was a year younger than me, died of cancer. Wasn't diagnosed until, I think, September or something of 2018, died on January 1st. And it's just
so 3 months basically.
It rattles you. I mean, it really does. And not even anymore. I think I remember when I was probably 45 or something when Tim Russert died. And I think he was 52 or 53. And I didn't know Tim Russert, obviously. But he's from Buffalo. He was a Bills fan, and I, followed his career. But I remember then that kind of stuff would freak me out because I would, oh my God, he had a massive heart attack. I'm 45. He's 52. Like, I'm just going to go to work any day. He died at work. He died in the newsroom at NBC. So he went to work that day thinking he's just have another day. And that used to be more of a scary thing for me. Like, oh no, now I'm reaching 50. Now it's a funny thing. As you get older, it's a weird thing. The human makeup knows how to keep you going. I used to worry about dying way more when I was 26 than at 55.
Well, when your brain gets used to anything, or else everything in your entire world would be completely overstimulating.
Yeah.
So the more you think about death in your younger years, maybe the less you would think about it in your older years.
I guess I think I think that there's an acceptance that, well, it's kind of okay. Dying at 26 is not. So if you're walking around with panic attacks like I was, because God forbid I was 27 and I wasn't a millionaire yet, so I had to panic about my whole life. But then once you get in your mid-50s, you're like, well, I want to stick around for a while. But, we're getting into the area where, I don't think 55 is acceptable anymore. But I think about 65 and 70 and 72 and things like that. And so your brain just says, well, you're not better than other people. And that's pretty much, so it seems... If things are natural and organic, I think they're more acceptable than when you're 26 and you're just...
I think with Keith Richards turning 76 yesterday, we should all just drink more and do more drugs. Personally.
I think
because obviously it's done him no harm.
I take it as a personal challenge.
Yes.
Yes,
because
to live to him.
If he can make it 76 and I don't, what did I do wrong?
I know.
You said
no, but come on, it's all DNA, right? It's
it is.
genetics.
Yeah, it's all
Is it all DNA?
And,
mostly.
Well,
you got to take
mostly.
care of yourself
No,
a little
you do.
bit.
No,
Yes.
hold on. You do have to take care of yourself. But I will tell you, it's 90% DNA. If you look at people's families, Fidel Castro died when he was 93, 94? His dad died when he was 96 or 97. They both smoked cigars their whole lives because they're from Cuba. It's mostly in your family, but you still taking care of yourself and being healthy is about maximizing your potential lifespan, not really getting yourself past your natural lifespan.
Yeah.
You have a natural lifespan, I think. And you can add a few years or subtract a few years or you can get hit by a bus.
It's an apple, right?
Matter.
It's an apple on a tree. Yeah. It's like some fall off and are ripe sooner than others. You can't say like, all right, well, this apple has lived a good life. It just falls when it falls.
And now here we are in the last minute, and this is my last show before 2020, and we've had a good conversation about death.
This is the second conversation about death this week. I wanted to bring this up real quick too, because you mentioned that when you passed on one of the podcasts earlier this week that you would look up and you wanted your
your kids to be full of regret that they didn't love you enough.
But then you also said something that wasn't even the thing that I pointed out though, is you said you'd be looking up at your wife. Who's to say that you don't live longer than Jane, your wife?
The only way that I would live longer than my wife is if she got hit by a car or something.
Yeah. She's super
she works out like 5 days a week.
And look at your family member. Right, but look at the family. Her family is living much longer than your family.
Her mom is 86 now.
Yeah.
Her father passed when he was about 74, 75. Or 76, I think. I don't know. She's just healthier than I am, I think. Although I'm getting all those steps in just in case I get a few years on the other side. I still want to be an available man.
Yeah.
Still a wild and crazy guy.
That's right. Second marriage. Step on up, ladies.
Life is so much easier the second
back on
time
the market.
around.
Climb up on top of Mount 78. What a good time. You're going to have to do all the work. I have no energy.
Oh, yeah.
But you'll enjoy it.
That's fine. This check will cash.
Just go cash only.
You don't want to be able to
paper
record it.
No.
Hey, that music says we're done for the year. Big Christmas special tomorrow. Depending on how quickly I finish the edit, the video Christmas special will drop on Saturday or Sunday. It's been a great year. I love everybody.
We love you.
I love the audience. Most of the audience loves me. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll talk to you in 2020.
Christmas is my kind of Christmas!
Ha ha ha.
Is that Mama?
How?
That's Mama, yeah.